ShortsAssemble.
I guess, yeah. So it came to my head. So I did that.
Since they keep doing like short sound effects.
Yeah.
Hey, it is what it is. Oh yeah, I did that. No wonder it's giving me shit. Alright, come on. On the Wi-Fi, load up.
Hey! It's Crazy Peas, and I'm TPAW.
I'm the Karnage.
And I'm having white gummy bear this time for rain.
Yeah, you're having white gummy bear, and I'm having razzleberry.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Okay. I'll open it here.
So we'll see how this goes.
Here's hoping with her toes in the air and curl.
Yeah. Hopefully later tonight.
Shut up, Playboy.
It's going down pretty good.
As long as it doesn't come back up, I think we're fine.
It's like...
I like it. It's tasty.
Get about halfway down.
Do it straight at the camera so that way they can see it. So that way you don't ruin the laptop.
Fucking like, fucking end up projectile vomiting exorcist style, and then suddenly our
No.
views jump up by 50.
Like your Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
From the second one where he just slimes them for fun.
Yeah, where he's like, yeah. And it's like, I just got slime.
Now you're part of the crew. Shut up, bitch. Excuse
So
me.
this last week has been interesting. Between school starting dramatically earlier than I thought it would for the kids.
Yeah,
because I thought it would be like the last week of August.
I got a text message today, which was weird, from the school. Yeah, it's early out today. And tomorrow. I'm like, and tomorrow? I thought there was a school tomorrow, motherfuckers. Isn't it like, welcome, know who your teachers are, now fuck off till Tuesday.
Yeah.
Which, for me, it's like, then couldn't we have just skipped Thursday altogether?
Right? Yeah, no,
It looks like you need a new Band-Aid, homie.
Yeah, like
Oh, did you watch this,
the interview session?
yeah,
Not
that I
yet.
sent you?
Nah, not yet.
Because it's him doing
By now I
a
would
like
have.
podcast
Yeah.
interview with a therapist.
Huh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that shit out.
It's you will enjoy the fuck out of it.
Yeah?
Oh yeah. I mean, some of the stuff that the therapist was saying, and then he had to go, oh shit, I didn't think about it like that. Made my brain go, oh! He's actually expanding his brain, because that's not the way he thinks, but he's like, but this is how, and this is why I do these things.
Yeah.
And the
It's
therapist is like, I understand that, but is there maybe this is the way you feel, that you feel this way about this because your dad was never around because he was always busy trying to make money and stuff. But if he would have been around more, do you think you'd have a different opinion? Well, I don't know. That I didn't live that story. You know, he gives a little bit more in depth, but it's like, but that's how I grew up. That's what I know. You can't ask me to do some random, well, what if, because I don't have a goddamn clue.
Yeah.
Plus, I mean, no offense, my dad was a hard ass, but it turned me into the man I am now. That's
Right.
like,
That's
my
what they're
dad's
saying.
broken in his brain, that's why I'm the jackass I am now.
Yeah.
And everybody apparently loves my stupidity and my craziness, so I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of it. I mean, that's like you with your dad and all the craziness you grew up with your mom and just
Yes.
your dad and all their stupidities individually and together.
Yep.
The way your brain is like, oh, and where you see my viewpoint now living with my dad, you're like, okay, I gotta take on that mentality because of the stupidity around me.
Yeah. And I was talking to Lee, you know where it's Gustel, about it. So yeah, it was.
And
talking
they
about
know
it.
where it goes though.
Yeah,
But
you guys know
Sissy.
it's Gustel. But basically, went with the wifey out for dinner, food, basically for like a little date, because we've been going like little cheap dates because money. But today, today I decided to go a little bit further as far as expenses go, and might regret it later. Don't know yet, but basically we're talking about how I've had to shape my approach to things, and I had to reshape some things. And it's interesting because you would think that we wouldn't talk about life, while on a date, but yet that's one of the times that we can actually
that when
be
you're
on our
supposed
own.
to talk about life? I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I always thought was funny. What do you do on your date? Talk about everything and anything? Why the fuck would you do that? It's your day away from everything. Yeah, so we figure out if we have anything that we're stewing on, so that way we can fix it before we go back to our actual lives.
Yeah.
And if the other one's got the answer for our issue, then we listen to each other, and all this shit's worked out before we go home.
Yeah, for us, it's we talk about life out, because, it's us away from the kids. It's the time where we actually are able to be a couple. And
so you can also analyze the kids because
yeah,
they're not there.
Yeah, and what's the interesting thing is that while we're sitting there talking about serious stuff, we're sitting there being flirty at the same time, and being all being all goo goo gaga and stuff, and it's the time where you rekindle that romance.
You gotta be goo goo gaga sometimes, and that's like you're saying, part of being a couple. The only issue I ever had was I don't want to, or no. It's the hell crawling up your ass. Can't we still be a couple? Every even if it's not weekly, once a month.
Right.
And yeah,
we've been doing it every 2 weeks because that's when
time allows.
Yeah, that's when the grandmother is able to watch the kids. Basically, is what it is. Because we had more people that had time to be able to do that and could handle the 4 kids.
I can handle them. I just don't think they can handle me. You've seen the, I hate you. You're a meanie. I might be a meanie, but at least you ain't dead. Wait, what?
And yet Arnie goes on and on about how he wants to go to the gym. He literally.
Well, no, Arnie's not
like
the one who
3
calls me a
times.
meanie.
Yeah.
Castile is.
Arnie just
Little
goes and goes, Daddy, when I turn 13, can you take me to the gym? And I'm like, sure. And he's like, no, I want you to take me to the gym with Tim and you. And I'm like, sure. And
well, it's like my kid. Hey, can I go? Yeah. If, schedule permitting. What do you mean? You got school. You can't just,
You know what he was doing without anyone around, or at least he thought nobody was around?
Lifting weights and shit.
Gustel was kind of just out of his eye shot. So he's standing there in front of the mirror in the hallway, and he's going flex, flex, and then he realized that she caught him, and he was like, Mommy, I'm flexing.
I did this because of the way my forearm looks in the shadow with the light on. I'm like, oh, you can actually see the muscles. I like that.
Yep.
But that's the thing, it's like... Oh, that one's in. It's sample, there's enough shadow there.
Yep.
But I mean, I understand the whole, bodybuilder thing, spray down with the tan so that you can see every little... Look at all my ripples.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why can't I do it? I just need to get more tan. Skin cancer! Damn it!
It's funny I was like, well, if I'm such a muscle man, might as well exercise that. And so I was in the kids' bedroom cleaning it up and had to move the bunk bed forward a little bit so I can get behind the corner area. And I literally just grabbed it and then lifted it up and pulled it forward. And then it was like, I heard a suction cup, it was like, yeah, and it just went. And then it kind of picked up and then moved a little bit. And I'm just like, okay, cool, that was easy. Way easier than I thought it would be. And so I started cleaning up behind there and everything, and then I had to put it back. So I was like, alright, let's hope it does go back, because I'm on the other side of it, and the inertia might cause it to get stuck. But instead it was just and went back into place, and I'm like, and I had to use a bit more of my legs, and I'm just like, okay, well, I got it.
Yeah. Well, I always think that part's funny. Well, we need help moving. Are we going downstairs? Yes. Here, person who can go downstairs. I can't carry that. Why not? It's light.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Late for you, maybe.
oh, but you learned that when you moved Nico
Yes.
and you helped all the lunatics in your life. Help us move. And you're like, and
Yeah.
everybody else is like, what the fuck? It's because I go to the gym.
And you're sitting there like pussyfooting around, moving anything, and just kind of like
The tiniest shit.
waiting for. It's like he was waiting for somebody to move first, and so I just was like going, okay, Jose, what do you want to be moved first? And he's like, well, the bed probably. And I'm like, do you want to move that like later? And he's like, no, I want to move that now. And I'm like, okay. So
Move it first.
So I just jumped up on the mattress. All right, jumped up, grabbed the mattress, flipped it up, started moving it immediately, and like moved it like it was nothing. And Jose's just
What's
like,
a mattress? It's
the
like
fuck?
fucking air, dude. Even the box spring, which has a little bit more weight to it, is like, okay, we're going downstairs. All right, you get down to the next landing. Why? Because I'm gonna slide it to you. Okay, next.
It's acting like the mattress is like a lot heavier than it was.
No, you can't remember. He's a tiny bitch. He's like Needful. I'll have to prove I can lift it. But yet, their face is red like they're about to shit their pants.
Yeah.
From lifting 30 pounds.
That is true.
And the mattress is not even 30 pounds. It's like 10 to 15 pounds. It's like, really? I mean, you see me at the gym. You do the heavy weights. I'm like, okay, yeah. Let's just see. Oh, well, this ain't shit. Go get a bigger weight.
Yeah, I tend to grab the bigger weights. It's not even because I'm ego lifting or anything. I just...
You want to see.
Yeah, I want to see if I can handle it, and then when I'm able to handle it. Because if if my body literally is telling me, no, let's not do this, I put it back and I just get a lighter weight.
Yeah,
You see me do it like 4 times in a session.
That'd be like me, okay. I just want to see what my max load is. I'm going to go grab 250s. No. You know?
You just dropped it?
I mean, I bet I could, but it's like, do I want to? Do I need to? Need to? No. Want to just to see if I can. Okay, let's do that.
Yep.
Because that's all it is. And me and you've talked about it 1,000 times. It's like, do I do it to be a jackass? Look how much I lift. No, it's like, let's see if I've gotten to the point where that's like lifting fucking 10 pounds.
Or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we gotta go up next time. All right, gotta go up next week.
But you saw a level of surprise on my face that one time when I picked up the 45er, which is what I'd been working towards for like a month straight. And then I finally picked up the 45er and then like started doing
You were like, what the fuck?
doing stuff with it, and I was just like going, this is a lot easier than I thought it would be. And I'm just like going, okay, let's go with it. And I just kept going until my arm didn't want to do it anymore, and then I switched to the 35 or 30.
It was 35.
Yeah. Like
You did like half a set, and you're like, nope, it's just still too high. I worked out my muscle too much. You gotta drop 5 more pounds, and you went and grabbed the 30.
There was that one time though where I went and did the entire set with the 45s, and that was when I was doing the standing rows.
Yeah. And then you're like,
Yep. I just instinctually start rotating my shoulder.
okay, it's still in there.
Yep.
Well, I mean, my shoulder's been hurting me all fucking week. That's why I've been, anytime I have like a free minute or I take out time out of my day, I'll go swim. Just finally got my shoulder back in place.
Yeah.
Because it's been out of place. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, we ended up, because of schedule and just the beginning of school and everything, the last 2 weeks not really working out, which kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I'm like,
There we
they
go.
can see your pretty mustache and your beard.
But yeah, no, it's that was funny is I think it was Monday you were like going, we're just gonna go to the gym every day now, and I'm like, okay, let's see how far this goes.
Well, every day except for Thursday and Sunday. Wednesdays is kind of a throw in the dark.
Yeah.
It's All right, yeah, they're home. All right, I'll be. And then I just show up. All right, let's go.
Yeah. And like,
I mean, but wasn't Wednesdays always kind of a throw in the dark because of the schedule and shit?
yeah, because like it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday during the week, before school, or no, before school ended, and so it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or no, it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it was kind of like maybe we'll do it Saturday, not sure, and then you switched it to Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday, because summer.
Yeah, summer break from school,
yeah,
because the kids are always home.
But there were times where like Wednesday couldn't happen just because of the fact that life, and so we would kind of like try to do it Saturday or try to do it a different day on like a day that might work, and sometimes we pull it off, we get that extra day, or at least the same day or the same amount of time. But then other weeks where it just didn't happen, and we're just like, okay, whatever.
Just keep moving forward, never stop.
Yep.
Because, I mean, we're on, what are we on, the expert or intermediate? On the center app?
Yeah, like intermediate.
I think we're intermediate. Yes, load, because there's Wi-Fi, bitch. Yes, intermediate. So we'll be going to the... Because we literally have 2 more weeks. We gotta finish this week, and then we'll do the last week, and it's... And then it's just this. Once it loads. It's just all the same old shit. It's the same stuff we're doing now. But it'll just get more intensive as we go into it.
Yeah.
Because by week 12, let's see how intense it is for expert. Or maybe we'll do intermediate twice. Ooh, intensive chest. Yes, I'm looking. Oh man, it's that machine. I hate that machine. No, this machine.
I thought you liked that machine.
No, I don't like that machine. It doesn't give me enough chest.
Yeah.
I prefer the bench press. Because it's like alternative. No, not alternative. Fuck you. I do bench. After that, push-ups.
Yeah.
I mean, I showed you because we were doing the bench and like the wall push-ups like I like to do because I can get the angle right and just get this full stretch right there. And you're like, oh, now I see why you're doing like 500 wall push-ups.
Yeah. No,
it's like, yeah, because you get so much of a pump in that it's like, I worked that yesterday, can you tell?
Yeah.
Because that's like Andrew Tate. He went into jail with the chest.
Yeah.
He came out of jail, the chest!
Yes.
Because he did that 5,000 push-ups in 7,000.
7,152.
Yeah. In 3 months in jail. And I'm like, yeah, that kind of proves the concept. If all you do is push up, your chest goes, I'm rich.
Yeah, because
and the reason I like doing the squats is for my legs, because my leg issues.
Yeah, every person at the gym was there that day, and we were walking around, and there was like at least 100 bodies just in the area we were in, and I was like going, my God, it's people, holy shit. And then like, so we were trying to find...
I figured it out. Do you know what it was?
What?
90% of those people were getting their last big workout in before high school started again.
Huh.
So I bet when we go tomorrow,
yeah,
it'll be a whole bunch of people. There'll be a whole bunch of people on Saturday when we go at night.
Yeah.
But Monday when we go back, Monday night, at least half of those people will be gone because more than half of them, or at least half of them,
high school students,
are high school, college age kids. So they'll be back into school.
Okay.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I was a little annoyed because of the fact that all the different machines we were trying to use that we typically use, at least for part of the workouts we do, were all freaking taken, so we kept having to alternate it and change it up.
Yeah, but see, here's the
but...
benefit, excuse me, to alternating it. It's like Arnold always talks about, Schwarzenegger. Yeah, my body gets used to be doing the bench press, so now I gotta change it up. It's like, we've done incline bench press for like ever.
Yeah.
On the center app, the Chris Hemsworth's workout app.
Yep.
I'm like, let's do inverted. What? Instead of incline, let's do decline. Let's invert the exercise. You're like, I'm like, just do it. You'll see.
And I'm like, oh, this is easy. Let's throw one more weight.
Okay, and then when you did it and you felt it, you're like, oh. I'm like, yeah, lower chest. That way, look at my big man boobs.
Yep.
Of muscle. Clink, clink. Because, I mean, I can just suck it in, just sit there like this all day. It's like, there's my chest.
Yep.
Hold it for an hour. It will hurt. I do that, my shoulders, because I like flex my whole back and my chest and abdominals. I flex my whole upper body while in the middle of driving, while Grubhubbing, and just in general, while I'm in the car sitting at home. If I'm not, doing bench press or wall push-ups or any other workout.
Yeah.
I just try to keep in a constant flex. Oh, that's why I'm usually in pain. The only reason I was in pain, I mean, I told you Tuesday, the only reason I was in pain is because this toe clipped the edge of a door lip and I busted this knee.
Yeah.
Bruise all day yesterday, too.
Yeah, Christelle was like touching my chest and be like, chest. I'm like, yeah, we did a chest workout today, of course, chest. And she was just all like going, muscle. I'm just like, you used to complain that it wasn't fluffy enough.
Well, isn't that the funny thing? I don't want you to be muscular. I don't like muscular men. As soon as you start getting muscular, maybe.
Pretty much, yeah. Because then after the gym, she's usually either already in bed or is about ready to go to bed, and so like I laid on the bed to just kind of relax with her for a minute while I let my muscles just decompress because they've just been going
from the gym.
And so I went ahead and like just laid on the bed so I could decompress, and then like they were still like doing the whole flex thing where like periodically just flexing of their own accord. And she happened to run her hand across my chest as I was doing that, and she felt it tense up. She's just like, muscle. And I'm just like going, yes, flex. In fact, I didn't say flex, I went flex.
Don't say it, just do it.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I always thought that part was funny, especially with some chicks. It's like, I don't like muscular men. Come here. All right, touch me. All right, ready? They just show all the ripples and stuff. That's not visible, but it's under the skin. It's like, what? Ooh, Because that's what I used to do in high school. Because I'd lift weights.
Yeah.
And it's like, really?
Yep.
It's like, what are you Because I've always had big shoulders, so for me it's the
yes.
shoulder. Ow. But I mean, I always like having the big shoulders because, like, okay, pull downs, pull ups, chin ups. I want to try because they have the new machines over there.
Yeah.
Or try and see what the machines they got up front. Get one of those little stand-up bars. Mm-hmm. Since I have trouble jumping with the CMT,
yeah.
I'm gonna grab the bar and I'm just gonna try to muscle up. Just
see if you can hold yourself up.
Well, yeah, because one of the things I wanted to try to get us to train. I mean, we can, because us training with the center app will help do it. But this thing: 5 muscle ups, 50 dips, 30 pull-ups, 60 push-ups, 5 muscle-ups. 6 minutes.
6 minutes?
Yeah. It was something I found with Karnage. I think I sent it to you too. It's the I'm drawing a link right now, but it's like, yeah, prove you're like an extreme athlete or something.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings used to do. It's something that they used to do. Can you do this much in this amount of time?
Yeah.
These calisthenic exercises. And I'm
Makes
like,
sense.
I like body weight exercises because if I do enough body weight exercises, your body just becomes chiseled.
Yeah.
Because I love doing the weights. You know that. You've seen that. It's like, yeah, more weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, free weights. Yeah, dumbbells, barbells. Rah.
Yeah, because I remember the days when we were just using machines all the time, and then after a while you were just like,
okay, I'm bored with this. I'm not feeling it.
I kind of want to do a different thing. And I'm like, what do you want to do? And you're like, let's do free weights. And I'm like, okay. And then so we started doing the free weights and trying them out, and now we've just been doing like
90% free weights.
80 to 90% free weights and only 10% machines. And now you're getting bored of the free weights and you go back to the machines.
I do a little bit of both. I mean, I prefer the free weights. The issue I have is I'm limited at home, or we'd never go to the gym. I just like, alright, we need to save up money to try to build a shed in my backyard. Just for the fucking workout equipment I got at home, so that way I can lift weights all day, every day.
Yeah. Actually, I was telling Gustelle about that. Actually, I was like, when I have enough money myself, and I know you're going to be working on building up yours. I was telling her, I was like, yeah, I want to be able to get to where we have it, like in our house, we have actual like our own like personal gym of sorts, and then like have like a hot tub in the backyard.
Jesse James awesome. West, he just did a video on that. I'll send it to you. Because I just watched it.
It's like I have a fucking hot tub in the backyard and then have like a gym like inside the house somewhere.
Because he just did a video on it earlier today. Yeah, there it is.
This is my friend.
He spent $100,000 on a gym. I'll send it to you.
Oh.
It's about what you have to spend for an in-your-house gym.
For the level of quality, yeah.
Well, no, not just that. Okay, he has a friend who sells and makes gym equipment.
Yeah.
But he also went to somebody else to see what who he could, not just the better deal, but also who could do it in his time frame you wanted.
Yeah.
And the second set of gym equipment is the one he bought. It's the same one that we have at EOS Gym. It's their equipment.
Yeah.
Like, the bikes, the treadmill, the Stairmaster, brain, and the elliptical.
Yeah.
All the same brands, like with all the machines and all the weights at
the bicycle,
at the gyms.
The one where you're standing on it and you're pedaling.
Yeah, but he used them to build his home gym because they could get it to him in 2 to 3 months instead of 6 months.
Yeah.
With the guy he's a little bit more closer friends with. But it's like, I want to do this in 2 to 3 months. Because that's how long it's going to take to get like the rubber flooring down and whatnot. So that way I can... Because it's for him and his girlfriend.
Yeah.
They're almost married as far as I'm concerned with freaking lunatics. But shit. But on another channel, somebody did a video and asked her if she was gonna have kids. She's like, not until I get the ring. Not until we're married. Then, yeah, sure, not good. It was the equivalent. And my first thought is, she's probably gonna wait a little while because we're still young. I like going on function. I don't need a distraction to stop that.
Yeah, kids could definitely be level of weight. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they can get away with a lot of
Biggest
stuff.
cock block you'll ever have in your marriage. Children.
Yes, definitely. Get in the mood, get all fired up, be all heated up and everything, and then all of a sudden, and then like on top of that, having another child is just like, I want milk now, and other stuff.
Or, love me, pay me attention, I'm alive. Go to sleep.
Yeah.
Fucking
yes.
Yeah.
Like, literally the Gustelle has literally been like, I want to fuck your father, go to bed.
But I mean, if you're honest with them, fine.
Yeah.
And then they'll just go fall asleep.
Cass just straight goes, ew, mom, no. And then she goes, well then go to bed. And he's just like, no, and in front of me. And then Phoenix goes, ew. We've hit that stage.
Children.
Yeah. So.
I mean, it's funny, but still.
Yeah.
Children.
Exactly. And what's funny is it's like, with the way our relationship is and everything like that, with the way everything is with her and I, and we've been for like over a decade now, she could like breathe my direction, and I'm just like, hello. She like touches me.
So
in
did
places
you get
and
any
goes,
more
hello.
chapters then? Well, you were talking about doing audiobooks this last week too.
Are you talking about narration? I got
Either or.
nowhere on that because I've been busy with real life again. I was like going, okay, so August is gonna be
a good one. Yeah, no, August is shit. Just
Alright,
like the rest of
August
the year.
is gonna be the way August is, and I'm gonna get like no production, at least minimal production, because I want to at least get something this week.
Yes. Child.
We were being visited by the Ghostel.
Come to share the ridiculousness that is my hair.
She's trying to attack me with hair, people. You fucking lunatic, I love you. Psycho, man. Idiot!
Hey, you know, they will likely see more of Ghostel in the future because I'm going to talk her into doing videos with me again.
Okay,
Which would be cool.
that's your channel.
Yeah.
I have to figure out how to either fix my laptop or, like I said, throw $50 at the Andrew Tate Hustlers University or whatever the hell it's called nowadays.
You're talking about doing the Hustle University so that way you can get yourself a decent working computer again and then kind of
Make enough money on my phone so that way I can actually make enough money to go, oh, look, a decent laptop, and look, a decent computer all at once.
Yeah, I would like to do that myself. Because the laptop I'm using now, the laptop I'm broadcasting you guys on now, it's a okay
POS?
laptop. It's one of those ones you get at Walmart, which that was my stupid decision. Get at Walmart. And it's got
there's nothing
gig
wrong
RAM.
with getting it at Walmart.
Yeah,
The issue isn't Walmart. The issue is
not the
it's
vendor.
refurbished.
Yeah, not the vendor. It was more like the product itself was refurbished, and it was like a polished turd. It works for what it, what you
For
want.
what it was.
For what it was, minimal at best, which is part of why you guys get the production that you have. But later on, when I get a better computer, a better setup, you guys are going to see a bunch of spiciness happening. You're going to be like, ooh, shit, he
Not
spent money.
spicy. We're not a porn company.
Oh, Gustav says, I don't like muscly men. I like muscly TPA. Muscly TPAW. You took off my W again.
Everybody takes off your W.
Yeah.
You don't need your fucking...
Just like go under a complete rebranding. It's just like TPA. That's it. And it's like,
Well,
wait,
I mean,
what
everybody
happened
calls
to
you T-Paw, so I mean, it could work either way.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. You're like, I don't know if they're saying T-Paw just because, Paul, P-A, or because they know it's T-P-A. You're like, Paul, like an animal paw.
Yeah. That's,
I'm like, does it matter? They say it right, so fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's one of those things because originally I created it because it was universal and it was something that I could pretty much apply to any genre of anything I do, and figured instead of it being like a horror name or some other name that you could apply to a specific genre, I was like, T-Paw. You could literally write anything with T-Paw, and people wouldn't get too confused. They'd be like, okay, well, it's T-Paw, so if it's T-Paw, it's literally going to be the genre of T-Paw. Like, wait, what do you mean? T-Paw's not a genre. It's like he's his own genre. It's like Korn or Disturbed or any other band out there they basically are the genre.
They are their own shit.
Yes. Yeah. And so that's what I'm looking at probably doing over the next several years is building up
No, we're not
thing.
looking over the next several years. Over the next year, because I'll do the Hustlers University, show you it works, and then you can do it and tell your boss after 2 months of being on it and making a decent amount of money, go fuck yourself. And then we can all make money online. And then me and you will buy, you'll buy yourself a house because you'll make enough money. And then me and you together will buy a secondary house, which will be our business house where we do all of our podcasting, all of our weightlifting videos. We'll have 10 YouTube channels to cover everything.
And then like an entire staff.
We'll make Mr. Beast look like a bitch. And who's the other biggest YouTuber other than Markiplier?
I know there's Markiplier, there's Mr. Beast. As far as wide range, there's also Jacksepticeye, of course.
Well, yeah, but the other one that's in Europe.
In Europe?
Yeah.
Well, I know
you got
that
Jacksepticeye because he's in the UK, and then you have the one.
Well, they got Ensign as the gaming YouTube guy. Ensign did Phasmophobia.
No. The one who's friends with Septiceye.
Oh.
Don't
know.
I think it was the first one to get the because he has the most subscribers of everybody on YouTube. He was the first one to get the Ruby one. He's got the fist bump channel.
Okay. Huh.
I'm drawing a blank right now. I know who the guy is.
Johns?
No. I have him on Instagram.
Because I know that Jeremy Johns is a film reviewer.
No,
Not him.
No, hang on.
Jeremy Johns is one of my favorite movie review YouTubers, just so you guys know.
Yeah, you and your weird shit.
Yep.
Did you like
weird shit being just cinema?
You and your weird shit. This stuff. Well, apparently I am now following on Instagram anymore.
Interesting. Alright.
Well, that happened. Anywho, you ready for sound bites, or are we going to talk about more random shit?
Yeah, let's go
That's just life.
Go to sound bites for a bit.
It's not just sound bites, it's talking points.
Yeah.
Within 30 minutes, the 7 of you could make the internet unusable for the entire nation. Is that correct?
That's correct, actually. It's one of us with just a few packets.
If a foreign government was able to assemble a group of gentlemen such as yourself, paid them large amounts of money, how much damage could they do?
Your phone systems are down, your electricity's gone, your financial markets. Let's say that I have taken over MCI's networks, which would not be a tremendously difficult thing to do. So I can watch everything that goes through this major backbone providers, transitory networks, but I can't watch Sprint. Well, what am I going to do? I'll disrupt Sprint service so that everybody routes through me. Now I can learn everything you're doing. I can watch your movements. I can stop your movements. I can issue requests on your behalf.
The number of systems that can be disrupted is so great that it would probably wreak a lot of havoc in the country. Whether or not the country can recover from that in an adequate period of time or defend against it is a good question. But within 30 minutes.
This is U.S. Senate 1998. They were talking about this shit.
Holy shitballs, that's now.
1998. That tells you how far back it was. And oh yeah, we can do it right now.
Wow.
So I mean, if they really want to shut everything down and make it look like aliens landed, or something's trying, or
Just
something,
you talked
or
about,
someone's
like,
trying to
weeks ago.
take over, they can just do it at the. Fuck you, fuckers. Fuck
Yeah.
you, common folk people. Let's see how y'all run with having nothing.
Yeah, and I've seen so much talk about it on Twitter too, with like AI and big tech ramping up, and like a lot of the stuff they talked about in that
But
video
they've
is
been able
happening
to do
now.
it since '98.
Yeah.
If that doesn't tell you that we've basically been sitting on a powder cake for
A long time.
25 years?
Yeah, because it's like 98, so
Yeah,
3
25
years plus
Just
2, yeah, it's 25.
25 years.
Yeah, 2.5
quarter
decades.
of a century.
Yeah, that's crazy.
2.5 decades.
Especially since dial-up was the main thing in '98.
Yeah, but see, with dial-up, it was actually easier to hack into people's computers because it was through the phone lines that was connected to everybody's house.
Yeah.
It was easier then than it is now, but you can still do it now.
Apparently, Ghostel says, Karnage, can I borrow your eyes briefly?
Why? They're on my head. I'll be a smartass. I am being requested. Don't die. Don't kill yourself while I'm gone. Your TPAW. Apparently, I am needed for my hair expertise.
Yeah, so 25 years. 25 years is about how long, and that's just what they documented. That's what they filmed on a camera in Congress. I don't know who the fuck filmed it, but someone filmed that, and unless it was made up or in a TV show, which I'm pretty sure it's not, they filmed it knowing that somebody was going to see it, and it has been around for documented that long. Now, I know some businesses operate with, if it wasn't noted, it didn't happen, but the real world does not operate like that. In the real world, even if you didn't document or notate or film it, it doesn't mean it didn't happen. I mean, hell, 80s and 90s? Come on now. There were people that were alive back then. I mean, he's one of them, that were alive back before even I was born. That it's like, yeah, I'd be glad you didn't have anything recorded back then, because, at least not as much recorded, because some of the shit that people did back then is even crazier than it is now. And people freak out now about it. Like, they think Andrew Tate is the biggest evil. They think that, Zuckerberg or some other rich asshole out there is one of the bigger, darker forces of the world. But really, it's not. I mean, they're just the current thing that people want to complain about. So as far as that goes, like, the idea that you can sync into a computer and do the data thing back then, that would have sounded like a science fiction novel or a science fiction movie. Because back then, at least when I was that age, I was 91, 98, I was about 7 or 8 years old. That was my kid's age. So that means that around 8 years old, I was walking along with my parents having dial-up service for internet, and the government was apparently capable of tapping into everything and stealing information.
But are you going to go
And they
find
didn't
out
need
the
smartphones.
lunatics, Ben?
They didn't need smartphones to ask you permission for your cookies or your information or any of that, and then you just say yes and continue because you get tired of reading the fine print.
That's when they start charging you a monthly fees for shit you didn't subscribe
So it's like
to.
a quarter of a century
You didn't
ago.
realize it.
So a quarter of a century ago, the government's got this technology, and now it's been a quarter century later. What else are they doing?
No, it wasn't even. It wasn't. No. See, here's the funny part. Those are basic tech kids
Yes.
who knew how to hack, but didn't have to hack, because it's what I always talk about. You always see it on like the movies where the guy's sitting there typing. No. You've already pre-written the program. You have it on the flash drive, or back then, a 3.5-inch floppy, or 3-inch, or 3.5-inch floppy, the little one, or a 5-inch floppy, the old real floppy disk. You put it in, click, launch. Fuck you. Because my issue is I don't type fast enough, so I'd have to pre-write a program.
Yeah.
Then I'd go to whatever website, plug it in, send it to the thing. Once it's all uploaded, disconnect, turn off my computer, disconnect from the internet at home. Don't turn on the computer for 6 months, and then turn on the computer to see if the computer still works too. But
Yeah,
do it
yeah,
on like a public freaking Wi-Fi at like a coffee shop or the local library, because what are they gonna do? Come after everybody if you're nowhere near your laptop, or you're taking a shit in the bathroom while your laptop's sitting on the other side of the library?
Yeah.
I mean, but this is stuff they've shown in movies and stuff I've been thinking about since they talked about it or started. Look, Geek, we'll read it in a movie. I know how to do it so that way you don't get caught dumb. First thought in my brain, I know how to get away with that. Just instantly go into calculate mode.
Yeah, it's crazy. Is like so whenever any one of us watch anything political or socio-political of any kind, a lot of times, especially if it's like Fox News, CNN, or some other news broadcast service that's broadcasting like a live feed to show these people that are in Congress talking about laws and stuff, which I've been one of the people that have seen it. I often see people with smartphones, or often see people with current technology, And I think to myself, I'm like, well, what other technology would the government have if... Because, like, you hear those theories, and that wasn't really a theory, that was literally them just talking about the video, about what they're able to do.
In the 90s.
Really? Yeah, in 98 of all timelines. But I was thinking about it, and I'm like, while he was showing me the video, like, really fast in my brain, I was like, wait, if they could do that, and now they're trying to, you know, talk about UFOs and aliens, and it was funny is I walked back from the gas station one night doing like a little midnight run.
You didn't watch that
just
one
to kinda
podcast
walk.
I said you did you?
Talking
About the aliens and the human-made FBOs and that
I
fake
will
shit.
watch it. I will.
No, there's nothing wrong with it, but I'm saying
Yeah.
that's what it goes into. All this stuff that you think you've heard about extraterrestrials,
Yeah.
it's literally just us using the like technology we've gotten from downed UFOs that we've downed,
Yeah.
or that somebody took a shit and they accidentally crashed. Which 90% of the time they don't accidentally crash it. We go after them. That's where the EMP comes in.
Yeah.
Because an EMP or just in general, you're literally sending electrical. What do you do with a nuclear bomb? It's a giant EMP. We literally cut a hole in between dimensions, and they came through accidentally. Because where do UFOs start popping up everywhere? In the rips of reality where nuke bombs go.
Well, the plane that I saw the other night, when I was walking back from Maverick, so I decided to just go for a walk. And
There's been
like,
a lot in this guy the last 2 weeks straight.
I was literally walking along, and I'm walking towards where the white fence line is that leads
Yep.
to where the street is. And as I'm walking along, I'm seeing a plane in the sky, which is not a normal here in Clearfield. And
Well, we're right next to an Air Force base, so
yeah,
jets.
yeah. So if there's
You
no
can't
more
hear shit.
planes, then you start to wonder. But like I was starting walking towards the house, and I'm like, okay, I see a plane. Okay, it's shining, a little bit of orange, mostly green, and I'm like, weird coloration, but okay. And so I'm just walking back, and then all of a sudden I see as the plane's flying in the sky, and then normally, because it's like this big giant stretch of sky, like you have like the trees where the tree line is, where the horizon is, then you have the sky, like you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
And like the plane is flying in the sky. There's nothing for it to disappear behind. There's no building. There's no trees for it to just kind of go in from one end and then you see it coming out the other end, or you know whatever.
Went behind a house,
yeah.
then it didn't come out the other side. Where the fuck did it go? Shit like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you
yeah.
think, okay, well, miraculous spirit, or maybe
Obviously,
it just found a
flipped
place to
bitch,
go.
and I didn't see it.
Yeah, like you think that it's going somewhere, but like with this plane, it was like this. It went into the sky, it was flying through the sky, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it was gone.
What was it?
There was
I
no
saw
clouds either.
something-
It was flat sky.
And I didn't save it. I probably should have said it for the podcast. But it's this plastic, and it's putting it in front of cameras or in front of your eyes. It's showing on the video.
Huh.
But what it is it makes you see the background with cameras and with your actual eyes if you were there in person, is what the guy was explaining. So it'd be like having all the panels on the bottom of the airplane. You think you see an airplane, and then click and you can't see it no more.
Yeah, because it was like it disappeared in the sky, or like it had disappeared
See,
somewhere. Like
okay,
it has like
here's the
massive
other thing.
super speed, or
do
unless
you know
like
what that?
the dimension thing.
You guess I'm gonna show it anyway. This is where the funny ha-ha for me watching Stargate SG-1, the TV show, comes in.
Okay.
Stargate SG-1, the TV show, was we're gonna admit we have technology like this without actually admitting we have technology like this because of a TV show. Yes, it's all sci-fi. And where, because I don't know if you ever watched the series.
What, Stargate?
Yeah.
A little bit as a kid, I was a little freaked out by
Yeah,
it.
a little bit. I watched the whole fucking thing. Where did they test out their cloaking technology or new airplanes and stuff that they were building secretly behind the regular man, everyday man's back?
I have no idea.
Hill Air Force Base, bitch.
Huh.
They literally said that on the TV show, so I'm like, no. And then I moved here and found out that's what the name of the Air Force Base was, and I'm like, SG-1. So there was a soft disclosure that they're actually doing that, not just here, but at probably other Air Force bases or anywhere they launch planes and test out planes all over the U.S. of it.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
So when I moved here, I'm like, oh, that's what Air Force Base they were talking about. Okay, cool. Literally just whitewashed it in my head, but I mean, you saying that just makes me go, proof. That's the first on my mind. Proof. It was a soft disclosure.
Yeah, because
the other reason why you talking about that and me saying did you watch the couple of the podcasts I sent you, because one of them, the guy was talking about how we've had this technology since the fucking 50s.
Yeah.
Basically right before or right when Roswell happened. We've had the technology. We've been using it this whole time. All the UFOs or UAPs or whatever the fuck they're calling it nowadays, 90% of what you see and 90% of the stories you hear about the Greys are the government or humans pretending to be aliens and abducting and or killing animals in fields, so that way when they can do the, I think it was black, I don't know, blue cup or blue something, what I was telling you about last week.
Yeah.
What I was talking about. It's so that way when it's an alien invasion, it's not an actual alien invasion, it's us pretending, because we have the technology to make it look like the Greys are landing and attacking us when nobody's actually attacking us.
Yeah, I was watching one of the Russell Brand podcast things, Stay Free, and it was crazy because he keeps bringing on people that are from the government, like they work in the government or they used to.
Or they're the whistleblowers that were just on the TV.
And they were like working with the Pentagon, or they were working with different parts of the White House and the government and stuff. And one of them actually talked about how he had actually like had an alien as a friend, like a companion. Yeah, because they were doing experiments on them, and they were trying to investigate them to figure out how they worked and stuff. And his job was
at first
so
to technologically more advanced than us, and how can we become or use their technology? We need to test their DNA to see what the difference is in our DNA and how we can alter our DNA so we can use their machinery without having to use one of them.
Yeah, it was an interesting thing because the guy was talking for like 20 minutes about how his job was to befriend and then investigate the alien. And he at first was like, okay, I'm just doing my job. But then him and the extraterrestrial, like, they both ended up bonding. And then he started learning more about how they worked and more about, like, everything. And he got in trouble because he became attached to the extraterrestrial. And they were like,
oh, if you hang out with somebody for so long, you're going to become their friend or you're going to hate them. Those are your two options. Either you love them or you hate them.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that really got to me and made me kind of look at that and be like, wait a minute, was the part where he said that if you're ever driving to Walmart or driving to some store, wherever you're going, and you see somebody in another car, another vehicle, and you think that they're human or that they're, normal, quote unquote, how do you know
they're another Homo sapien?
How do you know that they are
an actual Homo
because
sapien.
they can change.
Well, it's not even that. Think about it this way.
It's like Marvel with Secret Invasion with the Skrulls.
Well, what do we always get told about UFOs or abductions? They stole my DNA. But what if that's actually just other humans stealing DNA from humans to give to the aliens or to try to figure out how we can make half-breeds?
Yeah.
And who's to say, and this goes into like the whole Stargate SG-1 TV series thing,
yeah,
and kind of the movie too. I think the movie was. I heard recently somebody say something. Well, the movie was like 10 times better than the TV show. I'm like, they were both good in their own way. But the thing about the TV show and the movie is, you go to another world. What does the extraterrestrial look like? It just looks like it's a human. What's the only difference is it grew up on another planet. Where was the one hiccup that happened in the TV series, which I laughed at because I thought it was cute as hell.
Yeah.
They went to this one planet, but it was so like clean, like the environment.
Yeah.
When they tried to come to Earth, they ended up getting sick because of how much pollution and nasty shit we have in our air that we breathe.
Probably our planet to there is probably a trash can versus their planet.
I mean, think about it, like, but also the thing about extraterrestrials is, are they evil, or because we automatically assume they're going to be just like us, we instantly put them in the bad guy, or it's evil, when they're actually exalted beings, because we're like the shitty planet in the whole fucking batch. We're the one shit planet. Because we're the one fuck up planet. Like we've talked about, like,
that's what the guy was
this
talking
is Jesus'
about.
screw up planet, and all the rest of the planets don't have the same issues with the environment and stuff because they're more exalted or evolved than we are.
What are you laughing about, Gustell? So put like a laugh emoticon.
Because of what we're talking about.
Talk about aliens.
Yeah. But I mean, think about it though. What is stopping anything? Because if God gave Jesus, Jehovah, the blueprint, and the blueprint is to look just like them, so they have bodies just like us, doesn't that mean every planet or every start of another humanoid civilization, they all look like humans? So the whole grace thing, that's not an actual thing. That's a human ideal because that's what we decided aliens look like. That's not what aliens look like because aliens look like us.
Yeah, I've never really bought into the whole idea that they're somehow green and little, or that they are gray.
They're lizards, or they're this, or they're that.
Yeah, I've never bought into that.
What if they're just like us? The only difference is breathe through the eyes, like with Men in Black. It's the eye thing. That's how they breathe. What if that's how they breathe because they're more evolved than us? They're not different. They're just a different evolutionary path so that they don't have the issues we have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing is I've always kind of wondered how they would look because
I think they look just like us.
I think I ever run into it. Like, I'm not talking about like you're a human being from another country type alien. I mean like
You are a
another
Homo sapien.
like extraterrestrial fucking alien talking to me.
But this is where we go into the ancient aliens. The one like me. Your eyebrows come out deeper than your head and your head's bigger this way. Yeah. What if Neanderthal's the original human? And that was part of making this world. That's just the humanoid that was part of the world. And then when us Homo sapiens were made, when God, created the body for Adam and Eve, or Adam, he just like, okay, I'm going to take that genetic because it's got the biggest brain, it's the smartest, but I'm going to alter it to make it Homo sapien, humanoid. In this way, so that way we look like Jesus and God. We look like the original blueprint.
Maybe. I mean, they were like from the Ice Age and like different parts of the historical context.
Everybody always talks about extraterrestrials. The Garden of Eden was just us in a laboratory, them messing with the DNAs. Who's to say that that's not the original human? Because they don't have small brains. Their brains are actually bigger than ours, which means they weren't stupid.
Plus, they also had less pollution and more oxygen back then.
Well, not just that. It's the thing of, look at all of the big things that were made. All of the, like, pyramids and all those things that they keep finding that are been buried underground.
Yeah.
That are like hundreds of thousands of tons of rocks that were moved.
Yeah, I literally looked up.
That just means we're the idiots.
Yeah.
And the chain pull of all humanoid creation because say the name again. Neanderthal. Thank you. I don't know. I'm just having a bad trouble. The name's like leaving me. But that's like my favorite other humanoid, the Neanderthal. But the Neanderthal was the smart one because they figured out how to, without the technology level we're at, to move those 100-ton
the pyramids.
to 1,000-ton rocks
Yeah.
for all of the megaliths all over the world.
Yeah, I honestly.
What if those
like,
are the original entities of this planet that was made, and it's like, no, we're gonna make a human and give it a soul. Those are robots, meat suits. Neanderthal is the meat suit running without a soul. That's basically like I take your soul, I disconnect it from your body. Where do you go? You go to Neanderthal brain, and you just act what you would do naturally.
Yeah, so more primal.
Well, not even more primal. What if we're so exalted in our original form before we were changed into this that we knew how to move million-ton stones with just sound or humming or singing and stupid little, like ceremonies that are supposedly so far down the line it's been whitewashed, and it's religious ceremony when it's not actually religious. It's actually useful in creating a civilization.
Yeah, there was like when I squirreled and I rabbit holed one night, I literally looked up
some of this shit.
how many. Yeah, I looked up how many pyramids there are in the world, and it turns out there's like
fucking 100,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of pyramids, a lot more than I ever expected. Quite a few of them that were for pharaohs, for instance, only had room for two tombs for some reason.
90% of the ones that they call burial chambers are not burial chambers, because the three that are on the plateau that I was talking about, that was a burial chamber for pharaoh, never had a pharaoh in it. When they first went into it, because I've listened to videos of people talking about it, it was full of quartz crystal that grew in it naturally.
Yeah, I read about that.
A quartz crystal grows with water and energy.
Yeah.
Those are like the two components for it. And if the pyramids were still covered in their whitewash, and the capstone on top, the gold, what is gold best for? Circuit boards, energy.
Fair.
So it's literally a giant power plant. And you have three of them next to each other, which line up with Orion's belt. What if they lined up with Orion's belt and the Sphinx was actually a lion, because at the time that they built the Sphinx, it lined up with the summer solstice and the winter solstice, lining up with the Leo astronomical, or the thing in the stars. And now we're in, I can't remember, I've heard it a few times. Now we're in the next one.
Yeah.
It's after Leo. So they changed the head and made it into whatever pharaoh it was at the time. Like I told you, it's Joseph from the Joseph of many colors from the Bible.
Yeah. Joseph Smith?
No. Joseph, the Bible story. Joseph, the brother who got the coats of many colors, and then his brother sold him into slavery into Egypt.
Yeah. Okay, that story.
That Joseph.
Yeah.
And he was basically, okay.
I read about him in a kid Bible story.
You have the same name as me. Anything you say, because you're so knowledgeable, because your God favors you, and he's more powerful than my gods, anything you say is the same as me saying it. We're going to put your face everywhere where my face should be, because as far as I'm concerned, you're equivalent to me as Pharaoh.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember reading about that a little bit.
I have that story memorized. I don't know why. It's just one of those stories that I memorized, because he gets basically thrown as a slave, a shitty slave, then thrown into jail because the Pharaoh's wife tries to fuck him, and claims that he was the one trying to get into her pants and all this other stuff. And he proves through the Pharaoh trying to see what the vision he got meant, and it meant that they were going to have a drought. So he asked multiple people, and they said ask Joseph, and he told him. But because he got the name, because of what he told the Pharaoh and how favorable, telling the guy the straight truth, my God says this.
Yeah.
And my God's above your gods because he's the God of all gods.
Right. Yeah, making that.
Because that's part of that story. And it goes so deep into it, and then when his brothers find him, they about shit their pants because they thought he was dead by now, because slaves usually get killed.
You know what I always wonder? This is something I've been wondering a lot recently.
Huh.
Especially after listening to the Good Omens book, and then listening to like
A whole bunch of other shit.
like listening to Gaiman's work when it comes to gods and monsters, and then listening to other stories and other stuff
And
about
my
it.
lunacy.
Yeah, and then hearing your thoughts on it and stuff like that, about where it shifted from Egyptian pantheon being the core main dominant religious thing, whatever that is, with like Egyptian gods like Ra and all that stuff, and then like it shifted at some point to the Christian.
One pharaoh tried to switch the whole Egyptian belief system into a monotheist belief system, is the way they say it whenever they talk about it in any of the History Channel or Discovery Channel things. There was this one pharaoh who tried to turn it all basically into the same thing as the Judeo-Christian religion, where there's only one God. That was Joseph, the brother who got Joseph in the coat of many colors. Because he was the favorite one who got the many colors and he became the prophet, he was the one who, not trying to change them, but showed the pharaoh, the guy in charge, that your gods are weaker than my God, because here's what my God can do.
So it sounds like
And then they
mortal
forgot about
meets
it
immortal
through-
kissing match.
from the no. They forgot about it from him doing it, because as soon as that pharaoh died and Joseph died, those two pharaoh and that Joseph died, that's like 1 to 2 generations down, like grandkids. Oh, look at all these Jews or all these people we have from the Judaic side. Okay, and then Moses came along. God told him what happened and said, "Get all my people out." But it's been so many generations living in Egypt, Moses pulling them out, even they were stuck in their old patterns that they learned from the Egyptians to worship more than one God. Which also dials into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because in the Grand Canyon, because this has come up on the Metaphysical podcast, they talk about it, where some guy who was told to go there by the Smithsonian, and then they closed it off, found a cave with gold plates, which it talks about in the Book of Mormon, that all their plates where they wrote down their whole history were gold plates. Library full of gold plates, Egyptian stuff. And here's the thing, you had the 2 good brothers and the 2 bad brothers. The 2 brothers who said, "We're the older brothers, why aren't we getting specialty? Because I believe and follow what God tells me, no matter what my feelings are, I follow the truth," which was Nephi. And Sam, which was, I think, all 3 brothers, Sam, Laman and Lemuel, were older than Nephi. Nephi was the youngest brother, if I remember correctly. I'd have to look it up in the scriptures, the Book of Mormon. But the thing is, if part of being Jewish or one of the 12 tribes of Israel, if even when you're following the rules, when they fall out of the rules, where do they fall back to? The Egyptian, worshiping the Egyptian gods, going back to the Egyptian language.
Yeah.
So all this stuff that they find in America, in caves and in the Grand Canyon and the Native American stuff where it's Egyptian script, it's because you go far enough back, that's where they got it from. So the Book of Mormon lines up with all the stuff that they found in America, because they found the old Hebrew writings, languages, in Native American, where Native American ancestors lived. They found it. They found Egyptian writing, which goes back into the old Hebrew, because what did they also know? What was one of their old languages they knew? The Egyptian language, because they left Egypt.
Yeah.
So it all lines up that it actually still works and actually proves the Book of Mormon in that sort of way. So for my brain it goes, well, yeah, you're just not looking at it far enough back. You're not following the line far enough back.
Because for me, it's like, I feel like the line between when the Egyptian way was the dominant way.
When the Hebrews left the
Right.
Egypt.
Right, like the whole polytheistic religion system. And at some point, it changed to mono. And it's super weird and interesting because to me, like, what my brain randomly thought of it as, went from stereo to mono channel. And suddenly it was like one god, no longer stereo sound, no longer multiple gods or whatever. And so I started to feel like the line between everything was blurred by the humans' need to control things.
No, it's
Just
the
way it
human
feels
need.
to me.
It's not even a human need. It's the human stupidity to fall back to old patterns. This pattern works. Look how much better it works. Look, we're not all starving like the rest of the world with the drought that happened, or with the no plants growing because we literally saved up for this because we were told it was going to happen, that there was going to be this big 5-year gap where nothing was going to grow, and we saved up our plants.
My brain is for some reason thinking, does that mean that all the natural disasters and all the other stuff that was happening was a duel between these gods versus the one one god that wants to be the best god?
No.
The only god?
But see, here's the thing. You have the God in charge, right?
Uh-huh.
He makes his children.
Yeah.
You have basically Jesus, the first son, the promise, the one who basically your first kid basically inherits all your bullshit.
Right.
So when your dad dies, you're supposed to get it all.
Right.
Technically.
I guess.
By old school rules. Old school rules.
Okay.
You're the oldest, you're supposed to get everything.
Yeah.
All of his money, all of his property. And then you dish it out between everybody else, or you get it and everybody else just has to fend for themselves, sort of thing.
Yeah.
We're going way back old school. But the thing is, everything under Jesus is just basically him just making more spirits.
Huh.
Making more, basically, intelligence entities to insert. You're basically the energy source that runs your whole body.
Yeah.
Without your soul, your personality, this fucking thing will run on its own, but there will be no intelligence. It'll just run on, I need to fuck, I need to eat, I need to kill, I need to do shit. Other than that, there is no thought process. Eat, shit, kill, fuck.
Yeah, the conscience
the basic
disappears.
human stuff.
The sentient conscious disappears.
That goes into Sam losing his soul.
Yeah, and then all he did was
He
just
had
hunt
no
and eat
conscience
and
because soul is what stops you from killing other people, stops you from doing bad shit.
yeah.
That also has to do with your conscience is also the Holy Ghost. If your soul's not attached to your body, then the Holy Ghost can't talk to it because there's not a spiritual form connected to your body to tell you shouldn't do that. There's no way for the body to hear it because there's not a spiritual plug-in, so it can't hear the spiritual around it. So you specifically wouldn't be able to hear or see any of the spirits that you've heard or seen ever in your life, whether you realize it or not, or remember it or not, from when you were a little shit. You wouldn't even be able to see or hear or know any of this stuff because without a soul, your body cannot see, sense, or know any of that. It goes off of I must eat, kill, and fuck. And every once in a while, put out excrement from my body to empty it, to re-eat and refill, to fuck more.
Interesting.
That is the natural human body.
I've never tied conscience to Holy Spirit, though. I've always thought of it as
No.
two different things.
Because the consciousness of your physical form, because like I said, it's a meat robot.
Yeah.
The only thing running it is your soul. Your soul is attached to the computer. Your soul is your CPU. If it's not attached, then the computer doesn't know what the fuck to do. It doesn't send the signal to the hard drive, which is the brain, but you also get programmed by the stupidity that happens to you before you can remember at the age of 5.
So if you're let's say allegedly, because the way you worded it before was that conscience and Holy Spirit
intelligence.
are tied. So wouldn't that rob you of the ability to choose though? If like your conscience
not
is
rob you of the ability to choose. Rob you of the ability to actually take into full consideration whether it's good or bad. Fuck it, it needs to happen, I'm just gonna do it. Like with Sam. It wasn't good or bad, it needed to be done, he did it. It done. Discussion over. It needed to be done, thing was evil, I just kill it and move on. No emotion, no nothing. Because there is no emotion. Emotion is also part of the soul translating the chemicals from your brain to your consciousness.
Tying your mentality with your emotions, and
The
creating
programming
the
that you
sense of
have been
humanity.
told and or programmed yourself with by how you've lived your life determines your emotions. But guess what? Your emotion, you shouldn't let your emotions control you, because if you let your emotions control you, then you have no control over yourself, and you are equivalent to being a soulless person, because you're just running on autopilot like, fuck, shit, screw it, god damn it, I gotta kill, fuck, and murder and eat.
Yeah. Okay.
And spit out excrement of my body. There's no point. Just eat, fuck, kill.
Yeah.
Shit and piss.
Primal instincts.
Yeah. Literally going straight to what everybody calls the lizard brain, even though it's not a lizard brain. It's your God damn it, the word left my brain again. Your word Neanderthal brain. It's your Neanderthal brain, not your lizard brain, because the Neanderthals were basically the human form without a soul. That is my viewpoint. I'm not stating this as a scientific fact, but I mean, if somebody can help me prove it as scientific fact, I'll take credit for it because it's my ideal. So kiss my ass. But anywho, I mean, do you see how that works?
A little bit,
or,
yeah.
Or
it's tying a bit more together, yeah. I'm gonna need to dig
that's
more
the way
deeper
my
into
brain
how it all
has
functions.
has
But I
put together
rabbit-holed
all
a lot
the
of things.
info that
Yeah.
I've always been taught or learned in my life about the Neanderthal, Homo sapiens, this and that, and now actually, like, all but like 2% or 5% of Homo sapiens, humans, what we
Yeah.
currently are, have Neanderthal genetics. Why? Because that's the original humanoid.
Yeah.
That's the original thing. Because you want to go with the Ancient Alien TV show, or whoever is explaining it like a different, ancient.
History class is just hunters gatherers and primal humans.
Yeah, but we've
before they
disproved
really
that. They've
got
disproved that 1,000
consciousness or
times, but
whatever.
they don't want to say that that's true because that's not what we teach at school. Because if they say, oh shit, we gotta reteach everybody all the shit we've been teaching for the last 30 years, and I'm 40,
Yeah, because
and you're 30,
Yeah.
so if they tell you everything they taught us was complete bullshit, and they didn't fucking know anything, it was a guessing game, how fucking stupid do they look? That's why they won't admit anything, and they deny everything that doesn't fit in the fucking little box they've already put up and said, this is the truth, shut the fuck up, I don't care if you don't like it, that's the truth.
Yeah,
That's
and
why.
And you'll find that a lot of stuff that you learn as an adult does not
Contradicts
entirely
all that shit.
doesn't entirely align with whatever the school curriculum is, depending on what school you go to. And also, the
Well, I
school
mean-
curriculum tends to also be based on what society you're in. Like whether it's rural, whether it's metropolitan, whether it's heavily religious or allowing more freedom of choice, like that sort of thing. It all depends on what your
Well, I mean,
environment
okay.
is.
Think about it this way. Where's the hardest place to live? Muslim-run countries. Why? Because they try to do...
David Draven claims it was Jewish.
Okay, pause. The countries, I'm saying grand countries. It's... See, do you know what the thing that the Jewish and the Muslims do in Iraq and all those countries over there in the
They,
Middle
like,
East?
Go to church nonstop.
No, they do the Lucifer thing. You don't have freedom of choice. Fuck you. This is the rule book. We all live by it. You're gonna go by the rule book, and if you cross the fucking line, we're allowed to kill you or throw you in a fucking ditch. So do what the fucking rule book says and quit being a fucking sinner.
So wait.
They don't give you a choice.
So wait.
It's fuck you, follow the rules, or die.
But you
Without
said Lucifer thing, but
Yeah, Lucifer. Don't give them free will. Let's make sure they have to follow the rules. Make them follow the rules whether they want to or not. So that way all of my brother and sisters, spiritual brother and sisters, can come back to heaven because we'll make sure they're perfect. This is where I have an issue with the Muslim religion and some of the Judaic stuff, because I've heard it from people that have been part of that religion where it's especially in those countries, this is what's supposed to happen. That's why, like, Jeff Dunham and Gabriel Iglesias, they don't go into the town to do their comedy specials. They go out to the middle of BFE where a prince has built somewhere for them to do the comedy shows where everybody can come, because you can't do it within the city limits because that's against the rules, because that's against the religious rules, because you're laughing, having fun, or doing anything that they might consider against the religious beliefs and or rule book.
My big hang up though is where you talk about it being a Lucifer thing, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure
because that's what his thing is.
I'm pretty sure that if Lucifer was even part of it, like part of the Satanic Bible is about free choice.
But the issue, see, that's where the Satanic Bible has nothing to do with Lucifer, Samael. They're not the same thing.
So in other words, like
his thing was, here's the rules, don't fucking cross the line. Don't fucking do it. I'm going to force you to follow the rules. This is where my brain goes because of, learning the stuff growing up and stuff I have memorized. You
also learned from a Protestant who then turned LDS.
I've also learned from actual people who have had a Satanist Bible, and I've actually seen one over the years.
I saw the online version.
But I'm saying, well, what it talks about in the Satanic Bible is nothing to do with Lucifer, because we've discussed this before. Satan isn't Lucifer. Satan is just a title saying how high up you are, or just a title that demon Jews, basically the people that followed Lucifer and fought for, we don't want to have the choice because we don't want to fuck up and go straight to hell.
Yeah.
We want to, it's the thing of what would be the best way to say it? Well, it's just a different viewpoint from like a theological or brain point of view from this higher up thing. Well, if I knew all the rules, I would follow them. No, you wouldn't, because that's not how the natural human body does it.
Right.
That's like smoking or drinking or any of that stuff. That's what you want to do. It's not what you don't actually need to do it. You want to do it. This is why this is the stuff that's in 90% of the rule books for 90% of the religions. Don't drink, don't smoke. Don't go running around screwing every bitch while you're married.
Right.
And she can't either.
Yeah.
Because if she does it, we kill her. But if you do it, we kick you in the balls for 6 months and then, okay, be gone, bitch. I'm not saying that's an actual rule, but I'm saying as just a something to show for it. I mean, it's the thing. Because I think you're supposed to be killed too if you run off and screw somebody else without, like, bringing her into the marriage. That's where the whole Muslim thing for wives. It's like, okay, they understand that a man cannot be faithful to just one woman, so he needs more than one wife, so that way, he can. But the wife agrees to this, or has to agree to the other woman coming into the marriage,
poly, right?
or kind of.
So I've seen a few people online that are actually poly. They're either co-workers of mine in the past,
but it's not
or
poly.
just friends,
It's
and they're
polygamy.
That's
it's
what I'm
more
saying.
than one wife.
That's what I'm saying. It's poly.
Well, poly
polygamy.
could be more than one husband.
Right.
But there's an issue with that because that
more
has
than
to do
one
with.
spouse.
Yeah, but see, with the Muslims, it's more than one wife, because then there's no issue. If it's one guy screwing 4 chicks, we all know who the dad is. If it's 4 chicks screwing 5 different men,
right?
Which one's the dad? That's where the argument comes in. Well, nowadays, what I'm saying, way back when, this is something Andrew Tate even brought up.
You have to wait till the child comes out back then.
Well, not even then, because you have more women who say no, it's your kid. Because if everybody everybody's fucking is black,
Yeah.
how you gonna know if everybody you and your wife are screwing are all white? Who knows who the hell that is? Because everybody's white in the fucking orgy.
If you're the one black guy, then suddenly out of nowhere you're outed.
But I mean, do you see the logic there?
Yeah, I do.
So I mean, because even some darker skinned people have lighter skinned kids.
Yeah.
That's like Gabriel
It's called
Iglesias
mixed
made
race.
fun of. He made a joke about his mom and mom talking shit on the girlfriend, and the girlfriend's Hispanic. She just looks white. She's a light skinned Mexican
Yeah.
or Hispanic, but I mean,
And Andrew Tate is biracial.
yeah, he's black, but he looks white.
Yeah.
That's what I always think's funny.
That's what I always found interesting about all of his online hate and all his online controversy is that is okay. Costel says oligarchy, probably previous comment, but like the interesting thing about the controversy is that, you know, if the media had highlighted the fact that he was biracial, all of a sudden their language would have changed because he would no longer have been just the appearing, presenting white guy who is being mean to all the women. Instead, he would have been, oh shit, he's half black too. Oh shit, and maybe he's mean black to women.
He always talks about that because whenever the debates come up in a podcast, he's like, everybody's like, well, what do you know, you fucking straight white man? White, motherfucker. My dad was black. And everybody who didn't know that in the group, or the one person who made the bitch who didn't know, went and shit their pants in the middle of the podcast. And I just sit back and laugh at it because I've known it since the beginning. Because when he popped up, I did a deep dive.
Yeah.
You know how I do. Because you
Yeah.
do the same shit. It's like, I want to know.
Yeah.
Because everybody's throwing hate on him, and he just randomly popped up on my shit. So let's actually see what I can find out about this guy. Oh, his dad was black, his mom was English or British. That's funny.
Yeah, no, I
For me, it's hilarious.
when I heard him talk about it, and I heard him talk about like how extensive it went and everything, and the fact that he was the one black chess champion, like the one guy who was
His dad, yeah.
hereditarily black,
Oh.
and was a chess champion, and you know, because I guess not too many people that are of that nationality get highlighted for chess, but he was the one. And
well, it's not they don't get highlighted.
it was interesting because the
more
way
of there's not a lot of black chess champions because most of the chess champions are old, nose stuck up in the air, head up their own ass, white motherfuckers. I mean, they're not. All of them don't have their head up their own ass or the snooty nose up, but some of them do, and the ones who usually do are. 90% of them are white. Unless
that one chess show that we watched years ago wasn't accurate on nationality, a lot of the people that played chess were white. That's just what the demographic on that show was. Remember that show? The lady was the main character.
I know who you're talking about, but
it was a really heavily hit show. Like she was a massive chess player.
Chess players are usually dudes, and it's usually white guys because it's a white guy fucking board game.
Right. That's what I understood when I watched that show. I was like, is this like real life? Like demographically, it's all white? White guys
But I mean, it's not all white, but those are the ones that are usually play it for long enough or actually have enough backing or find a way to get into the competition so that way, aha, you won a competition.
Huh.
Nothing more than that.
Yeah,
and it's funny, Andrew looking white and won a competition when he was a kid because of who his dad was in the chess world. And him just sitting back and laughing about it like his dad did.
Yeah.
I think that shit's funny.
Yeah, what's even funnier is how the media handled him as a biracial man. Because he, you know, that's
But that's
what he
not
is.
how they see him. Oh, shut up, you're a fucking white guy.
Right, exactly.
You came from New York, you lived in England, you're fucking white.
And
my dad was black, motherfucker.
I was like going, when I was listening to him talk about that, tell that story, and I was listening to him talk about how media handled him and how media, you know, took and ran with the idea that he was somehow just white.
Just a white straight man, yeah.
Right, straight guy. And then just used that to just pummel the shit out of him. I was like going, wait a minute, but if he's biracial, that means he's half black. Or at least partially black.
Which means all this
Which
shit
means that
there,
they are attacking a black man.
which shows how racist they really are.
Yeah, it's like, wait, if he's biracial and he's partially black, then technically you just attacked a black man. And,
But I mean,
and you just like you
he's
spend all these
he's
time
used it
railing
on so
against
many
people
podcasts
who like treat
to
people of color
literally
badly,
throw
and then you spent
the
like
host
all this time
under
with
the
tape.
fucking bus.
Yeah.
But I love it when he's like, well, actually, my dad's black. I'm black, motherfucker.
It just seemed hypocritical to me. I was like, wait a minute, so
But
you're going
see,
to spend all this time
it's-
harping about people of
hang on a
color
sec.
and their safeties.
Pause. It's the thing. The liberals want you to think we accept everybody. The gays and the lesbians want you to think we accept everybody. Our whole thing, the rainbow mafia thing, is supposed to be about everybody's included. Who's not included? Straight, white people. 99% of the time. If you're straight and you're white, male or female, fuck you, go to hell. Even though you've admitted,
Yeah.
I want to go to hell so that way I can keep screwing my girlfriend as a lesbo or keep fucking my boyfriend in the ass. Or husband, or, whatever the dynamic is. They literally, and I've talked to a few, whatever, I'm going to hell so I can keep fucking my significant other.
Just watch as like they die and then they just automatically are in heaven, just like spawn in heaven.
No, but see, the funny part is that, what is your hell? Is your hell living in my Christian, straight, white heaven? If that's your personal hell, I'm gonna laugh when they send you to me to hang out with me in what you consider heaven and what I know isn't heaven, and I just sit back and make it my own personal mission to make you live your worst life. Because you know me, I'd sit back and enjoy the fuck out of that, and I'd. This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, you're a masochist. Now I'm wondering, Ghostel, what were you talking about with oligarchy? Is that like, are we talking about religious system still, or are we talking about politics, or what are we referring to? Egyptian stuff? Because I know we talked about Egyptian stuff for a while
Yeah,
there.
we went through a lot of shit. But I mean, we bounced around like a bunch of lunatics.
Yes, of course. In the meantime, before she answers,
Next sound effect.
yeah, go ahead, actually. So we've been talking about this shit for like an hour.
Aww! Video is no longer available. You fucking cocksuckers.
Yeah, I like.
Well, podcast number 2 just disappeared. Apparently, they deleted it off YouTube. Fuckers.
Oh,
Yeah, the
Oh.
soundbite just went by. You want to see it? You want to actually see what my screen said?
oh shit!
Yeah, they
YouTube
like.
channel got terminated. The fuck? What were they talking about?
Don't even remember. It was just something I thought that would be, good info. It's kind of like the last one.
Yeah.
We're like I always talk about. We're a constitutional patriarch or constitutional republic, not a democracy.
Right. Well, we're supposed to be a republic anyway.
Yeah, we're a constitutional ran republic, not a democracy that has a constitution that says here's what you're allowed to do as citizens. No, the Constitution says, hey, government, this is all you're allowed to do. Stop fucking around.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Yeah.
But anywho, I mean, that's where I think he comes in, the black, basically, chief of police in that town,
Yeah.
saying, hey, asshole, that's so if the government gets stupid, you can go click, click. What'd you say?
Yeah. You can hold them accountable. Is essentially what it is. You would avoid what's considered a police state by a tyrannical government.
Well, I mean, look at what the fuck Biden's doing. He sold
Yeah.
lost that he's letting everybody else run his fucking goddamn shit. And that also goes into the factoid of the idiots who are in charge, who have all the money, who own like 85% of everything on this damn planet, who don't let us make decisions anyways. They have so much money, they literally own everything in every other country and in our own country, but that's a monopoly, but yet we have laws against that, but yet we haven't stopped or done anything, so we need to like up our game.
Yeah.
It's a podcast I listened to earlier today that was talking about that. I'm like,
Do have to say, if Donald Trump actually does end up becoming president again, everyone could thank
everybody's
Joe
gonna
Biden
shit their pants, but the funny part is
for being a sleeper.
the Democrats don't have anybody that's decent. The closest you got is Kennedy Jr.
Yeah, I really badly
JFK
want
Jr.
RFK
But see, the funny
to do
part
it.
is they don't want him in office because fucking shit.
He knows the truth.
Well, he doesn't fucking like sugarcoat nothing. No, here's what the fuck happened. They killed my uncle. They killed my dad. Like the fuck is nobody been paying attention? Or
Yeah.
you just decided you don't want to know because of it?
Yeah, no, I absolutely dig the hell out of RFK.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Finding Hitler. Get the fuck out of here. They found Hitler. He died. Yeah, I mean, not really. We don't know. There were a bunch of specifically FBI documents that we were spending millions and millions of dollars actively searching for Hitler after the war. The official story is that he killed himself, right? Nobody has ever been able to verify who and what this body is. And when they did the genetic testing, it's that of a 35-year-old woman. And a lot of Nazis did escape and go to South America. There's no question that we're talking thousands, if not tens of thousands of high-ranking Nazis made it there. Tens of thousands? Tens of thousands. And I'm not talking like little soldiers. I'm talking high-ranking Nazis. Wow. In the center of Chile, in the mountains of Chile, only German. How many people, if you had to guess? A few 100,000. Holy shit. A few 100,000 descendants of Nazis. Yeah. Wow.
Interesting.
Because, and this is not the first time I've heard this fact, but it goes into it in another little sound bite that if you go to that section of Chile, they don't speak Spanish or the native language of the Hispanics and the natives that live there. They all speak German and they're as white as me, you motherfucker.
Huh.
Yeah.
No, I actually, is it bad that I'm not surprised by this? I mean, how many Germans out there likely fled Germany?
It's not that you're not surprised. I like it that you have the brain to know, are we sure that was like Hitler? 'Cause, I mean, you've talked about it, and I've talked about how, like, yeah, see, that's what they like to tell you in history class, but there's no actual proof that's who it was.
Right.
We've talked about it.
Yeah.
Because I've heard this sort of stuff before.
Well, a lot of the stuff we study in our history books is literally written by people who say they had evidence and say they had historical fact.
The winners write the stories,
exactly.
which means they're lying pieces of shit and can put it on paper whatever the fuck they want. Which means everything we've ever learned since the beginning of schooling is a lie.
Is likely them talking out their ass.
Because school only teaches you to shut up, sit down, work your 8 hours, have your lunch, do your job, bitch.
Yeah, like
That's all school teaches you.
A lot of
and
stuff,
I hate it.
A lot of stuff that I have learned ever since becoming an adult and ever since graduating high school and doing what was required of me. I learned a lot of stuff that was contradictory towards what was supposed to be learned, supposed to be known.
Well, I
And
think it's
so
funny that
interesting.
the American dream isn't real anymore. Just look at the current inflation. Look at the current, state of affairs.
And our entire
And
governmental
I even
body
talked about
of
it how with
American
Trump,
citizens are basing our ability to learn or ability to have intelligence off of whether or not we could pass a test or not in this country.
and I can't pass any of the tests they ever gave me because I read so slow. But if you let me sit down and give me stuff where I don't have a time limit
Yeah.
on the reading part of it, I pass. Give me the math, I instantly fucking pass. Give me, like, anything else, I pass. Where do I fuck up on? Reading and writing. Because I read slow, and I write as slow as I read.
Well, even with medical science, like with when we took Phoenix, for instance, to the pediatrician to diagnose her for stuff, a lot of the stuff that's on those stupid papers is all about instruction following. It's not about asking her what she thinks about something, or asking her to learn something, or to process information differently, or the way she wants to. It's all predicated off of, can you follow instructions that we want to throw at you? And if you can't follow it the first time, you're obviously doing something wrong.
Can you do it the way we want you to do it? No. Okay, here's your ADD or ADHD pass. Here's some drugs. Here's hoping you don't get completely fucked up, because Ritalin is the only reason I have a belly. Because me
may or may not have
and
autism.
my father-in-law have talked about it, how we were both on Ritalin. I took myself off at the age of 12.
Yeah.
And he talks about it as, that's why I got fat when I became an adult and got older, because of the way it messes with your metabolism when you're a young kid. It messes with the way your brain works. If we'd have never been put on Ritalin, or anything like Ritalin, we would not be the giant fucking clusterfucks we are. Or also because it ups your metabolism so high, with like the one that Nephi was on.
Yeah.
His metabolism was so high, that's why he was always so fucking skinny, because it ups your metabolism so high.
Yeah, that would make sense. That would check out.
I mean, for me, it's like, it upped my metabolism. Alright, give me the drugs.
I mean, the guy, the pediatrician himself, was concerned a little bit because Phoenix seemed to drop a little bit of weight, and which was interesting to me because she's been eating a lot.
Y'all have what the wife doesn't realize, or I don't know if she ever picked up on it, because of Nephi, we have high metabolism. Look at Ty.
Yeah.
He's always been the skinniest one of them all. Look at me. I'm the tallest, and I'm still skinny.
Yeah.
At 190. This is me at 190 and below. I think the other day I posted it on Facebook. I was 186.
Yeah.
I'm dropping weight like it ain't shit.
Well, and Phoenix inherited the metabolism from both sides then, because both of our sides
I mean,
don't
look
have
at
it.
you.
You
got fat when you got lazy and sat on your ass. Once
I
you got up and started moving when I took you to the gym, you dropped weight like it wasn't shit, dude.
Yeah, no, I
mean,
dropped
and look
like
at your
30 pounds.
brother. He's so fucking damn worked up all the time because of the bullshit that his brain's programmed to think everybody hates him and wants to kill him, that he's always running on pure panic mode, running a million miles an hour. That's the only reason he's skinny as fuck. The only one of you that isn't skinny is Nico, and that's because Nico, everybody hates me, nobody likes me, I'll sit on my fat ass and get fat.
Yeah.
No offense to Nico, that's why Nico is the size Nico is. If Nico was actually active, either like you, at the gym,
Yeah.
hopefully not like your crazy brother, and panicking and running around like a damn lunatic with his head, like a chicken with the head cut off. Woo!
Yeah, I swear that kid, like, he does not know how to just
But
breathe.
see, because he doesn't stop, because he's worried that if he stops, everything's gonna go to shit. One, he'll be a good man when he's old and has kids, if he ever has kids.
Right.
Two, if he never has kids, he'll be the crazy uncle that everybody likes to go have fun with.
Yeah.
Because he never stops. But the issue is, because he doesn't take 5 minutes for himself, most of the time, because he's always worried about gotta get the new song, gotta be a bigger badass, gotta look cool,
Yep.
and he's always worrying, always running like a freaking lunatic, he'll stay skinny until the day he dies, and he'll die because he didn't eat enough and he worked himself to death. You'll die from old age, like I will, because we work out and we like working out, and we'll work out and eat so much food that we won't be malnourished.
Yeah.
I'll be skinny fat forever because I love working out.
Well, even when we were in Corral, like, what was going through my head when I was picking up my food is I realized I picked up a lot of red and white meat and potatoes, some veggies, but mostly carnivore stuff.
Yeah.
And the wife commented on it too. She's just like, I noticed that our plates are even slightly different. Like, I grabbed a lot of vegetables and a lot of kind of more mixed stuff, whereas you were just like meat, potatoes, and red meat and white meat. I'm just like, yeah, they have steak and they have chicken and some other stuff and carnivore.
steak.
I'm like, yeah.
I'm done. I'm
I'm like, I ate the freaking first plate and I'm like,
but
let's
see,
go lift some
for
weights
me,
now.
I don't really like Golden Corral steak.
Yeah, it's kind of
Yeah. Where do I go? First off, the roast.
yeah. I still eat the steak. though,
I
so
eat
it's
the
good.
shit out of the roast beef.
Yeah.
Because I like roast beef. And the little, the other one with the, like, steak, but it's like roast beef, but it's just in the brown
That's pretty much
gravy
where I put
and,
all
like,
my plate.
onions and potatoes sitting.
A
You
lot
know
of
what I'm
roast
talking
beef
about.
and
Oh,
a
yeah.
lot of the meat stuff. I put them all
The
on
roast
the plate.
beef,
Yeah.
the meatloaf.
Yep, I piled it all on
Oh,
there.
hell yeah. Couple wings or breasts of fried chicken.
Yep, grabbed that too.
Yep.
What's funny is they had an entire bowl of mushrooms, and so I was like, let me grab some shrooms. I'm gonna get not high.
I mean, the only carbs I actually eat usually is masa. It's corn. Corn flushes through your system real quick, but it keeps your digestive tract centered.
That must have been what helped me earlier when I had the
You were
massive
having
run.
issues.
Because they ate like 2 cobs of corn.
Corn helps. Because it'll give you the runs or it'll just flush out your system so that way you can restart the next day.
Yeah. Makes
I
sense.
love eating corn. I mean,
yeah.
because that's why
My
I like.
parents always kept corn as part of the diet. In fact,
That's
that's
why
what my mom told me.
Well, what me and Teresa used to do when we got WIC, we'd make salsa for the whole house. Just kind of loved eating salsa, and I love salsa.
Yeah.
Teresa loves my salsa, or used to, whatever. But I mean, I'd make salsa, fry up some freaking corn tortillas. We literally just sit there and eat. Especially me, I just eat salsa and corn tortillas.
Yeah.
That was 90% of my diet. That's when I shrunk down to 190 because that's all I was eating was corn tortillas and salsa. The fire up the metabolism, the corn. I digest everything, it flushes out my system. I'm not getting fat. Best diet I've ever had.
Yeah, no, I would have to say, like, out of all the stuff that was on my plate, I had mashed potatoes with gravy. I had the
Always
fried
get mashed
chicken.
taters.
Got roast beef. I got the beef stew that they had. Steak.
I don't really like the
corn,
beef stew, but okay.
green beans. Like, basically what you would consider a full course meal. With, like, your vegetables and then your meat and then, like, all the other
But
stuff.
see,
So,
The
and then, like, of course,
part that's
mushrooms.
funny, it's what keeps you the healthiest.
Yeah.
Unprocessed meat and unprocessed vegetables. You don't really need fruit.
Still had some food.
But I mean, it's the sugar thing. Do you need the sugar? Not really. Is it going to help you? Not really.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do you want sugar or do you not want sugar? I couldn't give a crap either way. Sugar is just if I'm in the mood for it or if my drink or whatever thing of choice has some sugar in it. Okay, whatever. Fuck it, keep moving.
Yeah.
But me, I'm just like, food. Okay, eat, go. 99% of, 90% of my diet, or I should say 2/3 of it, is carnivore. 1 meal a day, usually, I put in some carbs. That's just to keep me regular so I don't shit my pants.
Yep.
That's all that is. Alright, next sound.
Have you noticed that The Rock has no abs? His chest, his shoulders, and biceps are enormous. But if you look at his Baywatch photos, you will realize that the only part of his body that looks weird is his belly. According to The Rock, there are 2 reasons why he can't have a six-pack.
I think because on Instagram, all these Instagram fitness models have these incredible 6, 8, 12, 24 packs. No, I got like a 5.5 pack.
Or The Rock having a six-pack like models on Instagram is not realistic. But there is another reason why, even with extreme workouts and diet, he can't get bulgy abs. And it has to do with his dad. If you take a close look, you'll notice that The Rock inherited his dad's physique, but he also inherited his abs. This means the main reason behind The Rock's strange abs might just be genetics. Have you
And we talked about
Yep.
that the other day,
We did.
how even our dads at their most thinnest, most fit in the military. It's the solid ab.
Yep.
It's just muscle.
Yep.
I don't have a six pack. I just have
Yeah.
abdomen.
Yeah,
Hit it.
it was so annoying because like even after all the crunches and even after like all the ab workouts and other workouts we were doing and all the cardio.
Well, you like the crunches because
Yeah.
you're like, yeah, I'll get a six pack ab. Yeah, I'll get a six pack. I'm like, mostly.
Yeah.
Because I instantly knew. Because especially with my body, that's why I like that sound effect because it proves not everybody can have a six pack. It's okay if you can't. If you can get the outline,
Yeah.
like The Rock or something, it's like, yeah, bitch.
Yep.
Because that's what I had before I, like, had the hiccup with them closing the gyms and shit and just got out of the pattern of going to the gym every day.
Yep.
That's what I had. Constantly. I loved it. Because that's when I was making Nephi take pictures of me and I was taking pictures of him like me and you do.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, which we got to do Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
post that on my Instagram just to piss off some people.
Yeah, I was talking to my dad like a month and a half ago, I think. And,
Yeah.
And he asked me, he's like, so you still going to the gym and everything? And I'm like, yeah. And then he's all like, okay. And he's like, so how are you doing with like everything? And I'm like, well, and I told him like what our workout kind of is and how often we do it and everything. And he's like, so you got a six pack? And I'm like, I mean, I've got a pack of something. I'm not entirely sure what it is yet. It's supposed to be a six pack.
Connor
and he's
coming
just
at
like,
me and like
well,
touching my belly and it's like solid.
yeah.
I mean,
and he's like, well,
when my belly looks more fat,
yeah.
I notice that usually happens right after a week straight of doing the crush machine on top of whatever, sit-ups or reverse sit-ups like I do, like sit-downs I've shown you. And because of that, I was at a scene for me. I just need to move the chair over.
It was funny. I was telling him about it, and he was like, well, you won't exactly get the exact abs you want to get, and it's your genetics. So you're kind of SOL there. It's kind of like with your hair.
It's the whole Viking thing.
Yeah.
I don't have a six-pack. I just have a wall.
Yeah, no, he said that with, like, our bloodline, like the Viking bloodline especially, but parts of the bloodline, that a lot of them had beer guts, or a lot of them had, like...
Just solid muscle.
Just
there
solid
was
muscle. There was no... Yeah, there was no, like, movie star toting to their muscle builders. They were just bulky, burly,
you could get it.
Raw.
You know what you'd have to do? Stop drinking water for a week. Stop drinking anything for a week.
Yeah,
get as dehydrated as you can, like you're going to a bodybuilding competition. And then next Saturday, because you don't drink, don't drink anything. Next Saturday, we take pictures to see if you, a week dehydrated, if you can actually see a six-pack, or close to a six-pack.
No, I'm pretty sure I'd faint if I went dehydrated.
Nah, you just eat more protein. Anyway, next one, I think. Nope, that was the same one. Thought so, I wasn't sure. I set it down and it says, fuck you, I don't want it.
I pointed out this really weird thing about humans. Humans have 46 chromosomes and all primates have 48. There was something within our DNA where parts of it had been like altered. Yeah, like serious. What they call those alterations and those things that scientists don't know, they call it junk DNA. Because when they compare every other comparable thing on Earth genetically, they found this small little area within our genetics that doesn't match anything on the planet, which is very, very strange. Because how something like a splicing of the DNA or altering could happen naturally, I've seen no anthropologist or scientist that can explain it. It's not talked about because it's sort of like hush hush. Roy Pipe.
What we were talking about earlier,
Yeah.
that one of the theories about our genetics is because we're not like any other entity. We're not even like the Neanderthals, because then looking at their genetics versus ours,
Yeah.
they have the 48, we have, like he was saying, that everything else has 48, we have 46. Why do we have 46? And why does some of our genetics have nothing to do with anything that we know of in our, that make us what we are? We could literally just take it out.
Yeah, I was told in biology class that it's essentially the equivalent of having like 36 to 40 actual chromosomes, while the other 8 go missing.
But see, here's the funny part. What if those aren't missing? What if that's the computer program? You don't know what those ones and zeros do, but that's the only reason you, as a humanoid, are attached to your soul. That's the programming in your physical form that attaches your meat suit to your programming,
Yeah.
like digital cloud CPU.
Cloud brain, yeah.
Yeah, your cloud hard drive or CPU.
Huh.
Because your brain's literally just a hard drive, so that's your like cloud CPU. That's like all the info that you save on the cloud on Google. That's your soul, your cloud.
Huh. Interesting.
It's literally the programming that's part of what makes you and me unique, but at the same time makes all Homo sapiens the same.
Yeah.
That's what makes us Homo sapiens. Those, what they consider junk genes, but it actually makes you something that can survive and or die
Yeah.
in the current 3 to 4 dimensional realm we're stuck in.
So do you think that if, like, say, for instance, we learned how to use those other dimensions, or we learned how to use more parts of our brain, that more of a chromosome would kick in?
I think if they properly checked it out by using stuff like CRISPR to take out some of those genes, see how altered people would be. Like, you have to sign up for it when you hit 18. Because at 18, your brain's not fully developed. Because it doesn't fully develop till you're 25. So what if we take people, like, we'll just say 100,000 people from all over the world, sign up, and we take out these extra mean-nothing genes with the CRISPR.
Huh.
And, like, find a way to take it out and make the whole body work without those genetics. See what it does to the human. Do we become more powerful, more smart? Do we no longer act like we have a soul because it's no longer attached? Because it can't be, because we took out the part that makes your soul attached? Which gets you back to, there's no such thing as God. There's no such thing as Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
We're just idiot meat suits trying to survive, fucking eating.
You eventually die and then you just cease to exist.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
That's the atheist
Some
point of
things
view.
happen.
This is just a temporary freaking blip in the existence of everything. Doesn't matter what you do, so get drunk, get high, get stupid, kill yourself. It doesn't fucking matter, nobody gives a shit.
Right.
Which I hate that whole mentality, because that's horrible to everybody's way.
Yeah. Plus, also, it's not accurate, really, because, like,
If that was the case, how do you explain all the entities and spirits that most people, once they're able to be aware of it, can see, and the ones who can't see, no offense, are the idiots in the room going, no, what are you talking about? I didn't see anything.
yeah, if none of that existed, then, for instance, me and the wife would never have to deal with cats screaming his foul head off at the dark 30 hours in the morning when, like, you know, it's the middle of the night.
Do you know what he's actually screaming at? Because we figured this out with Nephi and Connor.
Well, he says it's like monsters, and he also says
But
it's
it's
like,
not monsters.
he claims it is.
He thinks it's a monster because he can't see its full form. What it actually is and why it's always around him, excuse me, it's a spirit animal. Because there was always a big spirit animal with Nephi that scared the shit out of Connor. What was it? It was Nephi's centaur,
Huh.
spirit animal.
Yeah, I brought that up.
And once
to him
we
briefly.
figured it out and told Nephi and told Connor, she's Uncle Nephi's spirit animal, who's a centaur, Connor went, oh, it's a friend spirit. End of discussion, asleep.
Yeah, no, Cass.
Never had the issue again.
Cass is different. Like, you try to explain to him that it's a spirit animal or that it could be a spirit animal, and
No.
he
You
still
need to
freaks
take
out.
away the could be. Stop being afraid of your spirit animal. He's trying to help you. He's there to protect you from the bad spirits. He's big to scare away the bad spirits, not to scare you. Stop shitting your pants. He's not there to hurt you. He's there to protect and help you.
What if Cass
It's
is
the
awake
same
right now? Are you
issue.
going to say that to him right now? On YouTube?
I just said it. If you heard it, you heard it. If you didn't, you didn't.
Yeah, Cass, so if you're watching us on YouTube right now, or if Mommy will show you this particular part of the video,
Later.
Yeah, it's your spirit animal that's trying to communicate with you, not a monster.
Or not even trying to communicate with you. It's there to protect you, to scare away any bad spirits. It only looks dark because it's in a dark room.
Yeah.
That's the only reason it's dark. Because
Never
your
does get
cousin
pretty dark.
Connor had the same issue with Uncle Nephi's centaur because it was big and dark because it was a dark room because it was bedtime.
Yep.
Not there to hurt Connor. And once we explained it to Connor, he's asleep. He understood and no longer had nightmares and was scared by
She's
it.
still awake and she's watching us talk.
Yeah, she said there was like a 5-second delay
Oh.
when she hollered for me in the bathroom to check her hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
We talked for me.
Yeah, nice. Did you give her advice on hair or something?
No, she was just asking me.
Okay.
Because I'm the hair guy. I usually dye everybody's hair or bleach my hair. I've bleached my hair like 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of my thing. So you want to go to the next soundbite or keep going?
Sure, go ahead. Maybe revisiting old stuff anyway.
Isn't it weird how so many versions of you exist in people's mind? Some know you as the shy person that doesn't talk. Some see you as the annoying person that won't shut up. Some see you cold and mean. Others find you caring and kind. Isn't it weird?
Huh.
You want to play it again? Because
Yeah.
you looked a little confused.
Isn't it weird how so many versions of you exist in people's mind? Some know you as the shy person that doesn't talk. Some see you as the annoying person that won't shut up. Some see you cold and mean. Others find you caring and kind. Isn't it weird how so...
Yeah. No, it's... That's the thing
Well,
is
we've
I'm
discussed
always...
that.
Yeah, I'm always thinking of that all
To
the time.
everybody that knows you, you're different. Each one of them. They don't know the same you because they don't see you as the same person. Even if they're all in the room when one thing happens, they all expect or see you do something different from their point of view.
Yeah, no, I'm always like... I'm self-aware of the fact of what I do and what I can do to potentially hurt or help somebody, and I'm like
We've
self-aware of like...
discussed it a lot.
Yeah, like I'm self-aware of a lot of that shit. But the thing that bugs me is how people honestly like they see all these different versions.
Or they
of
see what they
everyone.
want to see.
Yeah.
Because that's
Yeah,
what they expect.
often they want it to be a mirror. They want to be a mirror or the echo chamber of...
Or the exact opposite of them, so that way they can count on you.
Yes, exactly. And so it's very interesting about that soundbite. Like, it's very...
I liked it
It's
because
weird.
we've discussed it before. God, I don't know how many times on this.
Yep.
18 minutes to
Go. It burns off my ass off. And then 18 minutes to go. And then he's asleep.
Oh,
Guess I
no,
just did
it
that.
burns. Of course it burns. It's bleach. Next soundbite.
Someone could never understand my pain. Do you even know the definition of immortality? It means that I, and only I, cannot die. Would you like to take a guess at how many funerals I've been to? How many friendly smiles I've seen turn into flowers in front of a tombstone? And some of them don't even get that ending. I've seen people crumble,
I think you got it.
disappear without a trace, ending so horrible that no one should have ever seen them. And that's not all. I'm afraid of loving anyone, for I know that inevitably, at some point, they will crumble away or betray me. To not act as if I do not know what pain is. All I know is pain. Someone could never understand my...
Huh.
This are some of the thoughts that go through my brain because of the way I see my existence.
Yeah.
I'm going to let it play one more time so that way everybody gets it. But the guy says at the beginning, someone who's immortal could never understand my pain.
Pain. Do you even know the definition of immortality? It means that I, and only I,
That is so interesting, especially when like it's talking about like funerals and like people and like
Well, I mean,
dying and shit and like the fact
how
that
many people have you seen in your life, family or friends or otherwise known? How many funerals have you been to, or people you've known have died?
a lot.
I got like 200-300 people. I have a list somewhere
Yeah,
back here.
yeah.
I lose track of it every once in a while, but I mean,
There's only been a
just
few that actually get really really decent send-offs. Not many.
most of the people I know never got a decent send off because nobody actually knew who the fuck they were.
Yeah,
I was one of the few people who actually knew their soul. We had a unique connection.
yeah.
It's rare, it's few, it's far between, but that shit hurts. But I learned young because people, Dad's dad, died when I was like 7, 8.
Yeah.
Dad wouldn't let me go to the funeral. I had to literally just sleep in the car while they went to the funeral.
Huh.
And him getting buried because Dad thought I was gonna snap and crack and cry, which I might have, but I learned at that point, and I've always moved forward with this knowledge. Okay.
Said I'm onto the dial ready, standing under the swamp cooler because it helps.
But anywho, I learned at that point in my life, and I've used it every time anybody has ever died around me, whether I've known them personally or whether I've known them through somebody. Like when Nanny died, Dad's mom. He broke. No emotion, just off. I have taught myself so well on how to just, okay, emotion off. I mean, I can still talk about Nanny like she's here. I can tell you everything I loved about her. What I thought was funny were other people were like, she's picking on me. No, she's telling you to grow a pair of balls and stand on your own feet. Don't be a bitch. Well, she taught us all. It doesn't matter if I agree with you. If I disagree with you, stand your ground. This is my belief. Or shut the fuck up and get ran over and don't talk shit anymore because you're a bitch and you can't stand your
I've
ground.
always gone back and forth whenever talking to you or talking to your sister about whether
Nanny was a badass.
whether or not that person would have hated me or liked me. Because of how
Both.
I am. Because I'm very
Both.
chaotic, but I'm also
Because
willing to stand my
you
ground.
are enough like me, the golden child, as far as she was concerned, I could do no wrong. And even if she disagreed with me, I said, that's your viewpoint from your life, but this is what I know from my viewpoint, what I've lived in my life. But because I stood my ground, that was my viewpoint from the way I grew up or from what I'd seen in my life, she gave me the respect more than she gave anybody else of the grandkids. I got the biggest thing. I was on top shelf. I was the golden child. Because I stood my ground no matter what. I showed emotion when I felt it was okay to show emotion. If I didn't feel it was okay to show emotion, you ain't gonna see shit, motherfucker. And she knew that. That's why I loved her. Because she showed me the respect. Because she understood that showing a man respect is the same as showing him all the love in the world. And that's why I will always love her. Because she showed me respect. And anytime I stood my ground, she's like, yes, stand your ground. Be a badass. She loved it.
So you're saying is that
That's a form of...
disassociation?
Oh, turning off the emotion when people die?
Yeah.
I don't know. Death, it's part of the process. You become born. You live your life. You die. Then you move on to the next existence.
Yeah.
It's done. It's part of the process.
I would say that yes, though, that Christelle's right that it is a form of disassociation. It's a form of processing, which is what you're talking about. It's a process.
I don't think it's this. Well, from my point of view, I don't see it as disassociation. I see how everybody else would see that as I figured out young, because I was kept away from it, that everybody was afraid of my emotion, or because Dad couldn't handle it, or because he doesn't like showing his emotions.
Yeah.
That's his own personal demon. Where I'm like, no, here's my emotions. Either I like it, I hate it, or I don't care. Somebody died. Oh, that sucks. Damn it, I'll never see them again. Okay, move on. It has nothing. I agree with you. Most people consider that disassociation goes to hell, but I don't consider it that because that's how I grieve. Oh, okay, that sucks, but I'm not gonna let it stop me from being me and living my life. Move on.
Yeah.
It's almost instantaneous with me. Maybe a week of my energy acting a little funny because I'm processing it.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, move on. Done. It's a really weird thing that I've taught myself, but it's helped me more in my life than any other skill I've learned or taught myself.
So, out of every single one of the people or things in my life
That have died.
yeah, I would think that my mom and Aries
That's your
affected me
biggest
the
one.
harshest one.
Because you
Because I was
still
able to
talk
get
about it. I don't
past
think you fully processed it all the way.
I have processed it to a point, but they have been the harshest ones. But generally speaking, what you're talking about, the process you've gone under, that has been my normal process. But for some reason, the mom and Aries, that was
I think the
Horrible.
one that'll hurt me the worst will be Mom. But with the way I deal with it, I don't know if I'll have the same reaction as
And
everybody
will
else
likely-
expects me to.
wreck you, and you'll just look like you're untouched on the outside.
Or I
You're
just
just
won't
so-
deal with it.
Because you're just so, like, practiced when it comes to your process.
Disassociation.
Yeah, they-
Looking like I disassociate everything.
Yes. Yeah,
Well, no, I keep looking at it because it's right there, disassociation.
Yep.
I do that with so much stuff, or I make it look like I'm doing that on the outside, so that way nobody knows the process I go through, because I go through it up here so fast. That's part of the ADHD that I've learned to use as a superpower.
Yeah.
I deal with it and process it so quickly, it looks like I haven't processed anything. And it looks like disassociation. When that's not actually what it is. I associated it.
Me
but
and
it
her have
looks like
talked about.
disassociation.
Me and her have talked about extensively about how you disassociate a lot, and that you may not even be aware of it.
But I am aware. How it looks to everybody else I'm disassociating when I've already gone through the process and I'm just done with it. It's from my point of view, it's not instantaneous. From everybody else's point of view, it looks like disassociation because it's almost instantaneous from the third person point of view.
Right.
It's a
Someone
weird
will-
dynamic because the way my brain works or the way I process it through a spiritual realm, it's so fast and so what looks instantaneous, even though I spend a good year or 1,000 years on it up here, but it's like instantaneous on the outside because of the way I stack and have my brain process stuff.
Yeah.
Especially emotional shit. It's all at once, I break down, or I don't show nobody shit, and if I break, dude, just hope you come in the fucking way. I'm probably gonna snap you in half. On accident, just from, alright, I'll fucking kill somebody. And I gotta dig another grave. That's not admitting I did anything ever, so go fuck yourselves. I deny. Admit nothing, deny everything.
Plausible deniability of a live action broadcast.
But no, I mean, I figured I'd throw that out because we were talking about a scenario, so. Has that ever happened? You never know.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic there about grief and about potential isolation and things
How
that
you
people,
process it.
yeah, Because we just got done dealing with COVID, which means that the entire world has been dealing with that itself, like as a whole.
Well, I think it's funny, the whole COVID thing. Old people died because they're old.
Right.
That's what old people do. They die.
Yes.
But the flu killed them. It was the worst one ever. Actually, this happens every 3 to 5 years. So, max out like every decade. So, I mean,
when
at 40, I've seen it happen.
when I was
A
at the
buttload as a
hospital,
kid.
when I was in the hospital with, Gustelle, when Luciana was being born, all of
I
their
walked
beds.
in like I had the biggest balls in the room. And they give two shits, and you're like, "What the hell?" And the nurse is like, "You're not wearing a mask." No, I shouldn't. And they all like about shit their pants, but they didn't have the
Oh, they
balls
were
to tell me to
so
leave the
pissed.
room.
Yeah, they were so goddamn pissed off. It was so funny. And I was just like, oh, wait a minute. So I'm having a panic attack, and I'm hoping I'm going to be able to... I'm not going to get kicked out of the fucking room over my own child's birth. So I'm going to have to fucking strangle somebody. Not admitting anything. And you just kind of walk in the room, and you're just like, fuck y'all, I'm not going to wear a mask. And you're just no fucks given, and all the nurse does is just give you like the sourest fucking looks, and I'm just like going,
But they don't have the balls
Totally,
to
I
step
pulled this
up
off.
and do anything.
yeah. I was like, I could
That's what I
totally,
thought was hilarious.
I was like, I could totally have fucking pulled at him, and then and it got validated because I pulled at him because he would have walked in without a mask and been like, "What's up, bitch?" And then fucking the nurse would have been like, "You too? Now you fucking fuckers not wearing masks and wearing COVID and it's like, yeah, go fuck yourself." And so,
we go to the gym every day, bitch. Fuck off, real.
and so when I saw all the fucking beds were mostly taking a shit, it made me think about how the nurse, because I asked the nurse, I was like, is that all the hospitals right now? All of them like that? Is this common, or do you have a... And she's like, well, we are part of the big giant network, and yes, a lot of the hospital beds are being taken up. And I'm like, what you're saying is a bunch of old people dying during COVID, and now a bunch of people are being born, which means a bunch of us fucked. And then the nurse is just like, that's a very crude way of putting it. I'm like going, but is it right? And she's like going, yes. And I'm like, all right, we're horny.
Yes, you probably bumped the stabby one.
Yeah.
Never made a comment. I didn't even think about it. I was just thinking Knuckles, but my bad.
I
Are
was
you
looking-
bleeding?
No. I was looking at it being
We're
like,
good.
well, that was sharp.
Well, Amber made Josiel made a comment. Yeah, I would not want to get hit in the face with that pointy one. I didn't even think about it. I just put my hand up.
Just
Random thought.
the next time a certain someone that's at your house runs their mouth, clock.
My eye! Which one?
Yeah.
My eye. Hey, look, one still works. What? Never mind.
Now the other one doesn't work too. You're welcome.
My eyes.
Hey, give me Daredevil.
No, now it's like, I can't see that. I know. Next sound effect. Look.
I really don't care if people talk shit about me. I was raised to flush shit down the toilet, not play with it.
Do I hear it again?
Yeah. It's too brief.
I really don't care if people talk shit about me. I was raised to flush shit down the toilet, not play with it.
That's true.
I just thought that one was a funny one,
Yeah.
and you'd get the humor in that.
Tommy, Joe, flush the damn. Don't play with your damn shit. Flush it down the goddamn toilet.
But I mean, I thought that's
She told me
funny.
that in 3rd grade, by the way, because I was telling her about how there were bullies and stuff, and I was telling her that people were being mean at school, right? And you know what she does? She just tells me, she's like, well, what did I tell you to do with your shit? And I'm like, flush it? She's like, yeah, so flush them. And I'm like, how? I put them in that toilet?
But I mean, it's a funny ha-ha because I just thought it was a funny ha-ha because, yeah, I was taught not to play with shit, just flush it.
Yeah.
I just thought that was priceless.
Yeah, it is priceless.
This doctor didn't shower for 5 years. Dr. James Hamblin, a physician, Yale public health lecturer, and author, stopped bathing while researching his latest book, Clean, The New Science of Skin. Here are 4 important lessons he learned during that time. Over-reliance on soap may be creating allergies and leaving us open to diseases. Our skin is the first line of defense against disease. The more we wash the natural bacteria and organisms away on our skin, the more susceptible we become to foreign invaders. There are mites on our skin and face which might sound bad, but they're doing important stuff. A 2014 study out of North Carolina revealed that these mites are natural exfoliants that help prevent breakouts and skin infections. The idea that we need this much soap every day is basically a marketing trick. Making soap is pretty cheap. What we're paying for is great marketing and a good smell. That's basically it. The skincare industry is totally unregulated. A lot of what we're using on our face goes unchecked by the FDA, and the last 2 lessons that Dr. Hamlin learned will probably surprise you. Go check out the full piece at freethink.com.
What in the actual serious fuck?
You want to listen to it again to see what the hell?
That-
Or was that just way too much information? Like, oh yeah, by the way, you're not actually washing your skin with soap. You're washing it with laundry detergent because it smells pretty.
Play it again for the audience.
This doctor didn't shower for 5 years. Dr. James Hamlin, a physician, Yale public health lecturer, and author, stopped bathing while researching his latest book, Clean, The New Science of Skin. Here are 4 important lessons he learned during that time. Over-reliance on soap may be creating allergies and leaving us open to diseases. Our skin is the first line of defense against disease. The more we wash the natural bacteria and organisms away on our skin, the more susceptible we become to foreign invaders. There are mites on our skin and face which might sound bad, but they're doing important stuff. A 2014 study out of North Carolina revealed that these mites are natural exfoliants that help prevent breakouts and skin infections. The idea that we need this much soap every day is basically a marketing trick. Making soap is pretty cheap. What we're paying for is great marketing and a good smell. That's basically it. The skincare industry is totally unregulated. A lot of what we're using on our face goes unchecked by the FDA, and the last 2 lessons that Dr. Hamlin learned will probably surprise you. Go check out the full piece at freethink.com.
Interesting.
I'll give him the free plug for Free Think because that's the name of the channel. So I was gonna check it out. I think it's I might. Let me see.
That explains why,
Yeah.
like,
Read more at www.freethink.com/health/a-didn't-shower-4-5 the actual number 5 -years. That's where the full read is. I figured I'd look it up, give you all that info real quick.
yeah. No, I'm thinking about this. Like, I'm
I'm
taking
actually
in,
gonna send it to you.
taking in what it's saying, and I'm processing in my head, and I'm suddenly thinking critically about it, and being like, there are days of the week, sometimes a couple weeks, where I'm just not able to shower too much, and I feel bad about it. I think about how busy I am all the
This
time,
doctor didn't shower
but
for
I just sent it to you.
it makes me realize that I only have gotten really actually sick for the last, like, in the last year. Like,
And you shower every day. But see, here's the thing. You don't actually need to shower. You know what you need to do? It's not even shower every day. Not a technical shower where you're scrubbing down with soap.
yeah.
You get in the shower, you just rinse the dirt off your skin. You literally just take your loofah or rag, whatever you're using, and just rub.
The last time
Just
I remember
wash
getting
off the soap. I mean, wash off the dirt.
ridiculously, like, aside from, like, allergies or head cold or whatever, the last time I
Yeah.
got horrifically sick and was, like, throwing up was last October. It's been, like, almost a year. That was when Mary got that one thing from her job.
I remember everybody
and, like,
got
it
it
tested
here. And
everybody.
I'm like, alright, we'll stay away.
And, like, I was in the backyard and I was trying to, like, you know, talk to Alan and stuff and everything because he was visiting or whatever. And then, like, I
Yeah.
fell over or almost fell over, went up to the bathroom and ended up laying on the floor and was puking my brains out. And I said to him, I'm like, wait, I've only gotten like that like once or twice in a year in the last year.
But see, you really don't get sick. The only thing you really need to do, and you don't even need underarm technically, all you need is every once in a while, so that way you don't smell like gas. Or,
Yeah.
like I said, rinse yourself off. That's why I like swimming at the gym.
Yeah, because then I
It
literally will turn on the
literally
shower at the pool area, and I'll
Well,
stand
that's for you.
underneath
For
it,
me,
and that's
if I
essentially
just
rinsing
like
off.
swim and do what I normally do, which is not rinse off, just dry my swimming trunks and like get dressed.
Yeah.
I've been told by the kids, you smell like a swimming pool. So I smell clean.
Yeah.
I don't stink for days if I swim every other day. I don't stink for months on end because I'm swimming and literally just.
Yeah, the same thing with me. Like, I will literally come back to the gym after going to the pool, because if we do our giant workout, we go to the pool for like 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then we go up in the hot tub, and then I go to wash off under the shower thing. And it's essentially
It's
showering
not even
without
wash
soap.
off, you just rinse off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
You rinse
essentially
off the
showering
excess
without
chlorine.
soap. And come back to the house, and not once does the wife ever complain about smell. Like, she's not like going, oh, you stink, or you still smell like ass or sweat or whatever. Instead, she's just like, oh, come here. Because I probably smell like musk because of anything.
Yeah.
Musk
I mean, and if
pool.
your woman doesn't like your musk, then why the hell is she your woman's clothes? She thinks you're just a stinky asshole. Alright, next sound effect.
Could be dangerous. 1. Dress classy. Always wear a watch. Sign of significance. Look into people's eyes, no matter who they are. 3. Never appear stressed. Always stay calm. 4. Don't show your weaknesses. Don't let people use it towards you. 5. Grind in shadow. Don't show your work. Lift weight and let success talk. How to be dangerous. 1.
Interesting.
Dress classy.
There's some really good points in there.
I just thought it was an interesting fact. These were
Yeah.
ones where you were in the shitter, I was just scrolling through
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm like, we use these last 4 on the, 6 on the
Yeah.
podcast. Because they're thinking uplifting sound bites instead of the informational ones.
Yeah.
So,
Makes sense.
I always love doing these. At least for the end of the sound bites, and then we just shoot the
The
shit.
society is too weak. Do you think somebody in the Stone Ages had depression? A more modern variation, the Spartans. You think they had depression? Maybe you are laughing, but all of these groups, they are too busy with their body. They are too busy with activity to be depressed. Yeah, but nowadays, how does the time look? You can sit if you want from morning till evening, just in front of the screen. And nothing's gonna happen anymore. We need to make us stronger again. Get more physicality into your life. The society is too.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, man. Like,
That's a valid point. That's all
Yeah.
I thought when I heard that. I'm like, valid point.
yeah,
Needs to be said.
Because like years ago, when I used to just stream shows on Netflix all the time and watch TV all day or all my days off or whatever, or
That's when you get
or
fat,
just
lazy,
sit
and
in front of a
depressed.
screen while playing a game or whatever. Yeah, I just got really fucking angsty and depressed and shit, and got chubbier and shit over time. And like the house was never getting clean properly. Like I was not getting
You
up. and
couldn't
taking
even
care
give
of
a
things.
shit at the point because you were like,
Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
fuck
it was pretty bad, and so like that's a very valid point. And I noticed that like now that I've been going to the gym and I've been keeping my stamina up and shit, I'm very busy, but I'm also very physical. And like the kids, for instance, the wife will try to ask them to do things, or will, you know, be like, "Oh, boys, can you do this?" Or she'll make a request like 18 times. Not once will they listen. But then I come in the picture and I go walk in there and I'm like, hey, let's go do this thing. And then the kids are just all like, okay, fine. Like, you know, like the physicality of it counts.
Yeah, because Daddy says to do it, so it's like working out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of get the same stuff with my kids on certain things. All right, we're gonna go do this.
Yep.
Okay.
I could not hear that.
That monster is going to be with you.
One thing people need to bro.
No!
One thing.
You little bitch.
Okay, I get it now. No, that makes sense actually, because there's so many. Okay, so speaking on a mental health level, I know that like people in general will go around crying about their dark sides, or they'll go around talking about how their mental health is killing them or whatever. That's what that
But see,
soundbite's
mental
talking
health
about.
isn't killing you. It's the, oh, I'm being beat up by the demons in my head. No. Harness the darkness. Use it to make yourself brighter. Because here's the funny part. Who's the biggest bad guy that most people admit's the biggest bad guy? Lucifer.
Right.
The bringer of light. The only thing brighter than him is God and Jesus, basically the chosen ones.
Right.
So here's the funny part. He's the bad guy. But if you learn how to harness your darkness, you can turn it into the brightest light.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying though, is like people
that's why
are
I like the little like sound
being all
those
terrified
things.
of like their dark sides and being all terrified of like
Ooh,
you know,
everybody call me. Who
their
gives a
things
shit?
that consume them or whatever. And it's like,
Yeah.
why don't you just harness it? Why don't you just learn how to use it?
Well,
Like use it to help you.
that kind of goes into my whole
Help
like
you help other people.
You've seen it over the years. My thing about the CMT, the shark out Marie tooth, it's no. I have the disability, but the disability makes me a badass. Why? Because for me to feel pain, it's got to be a normal person's level 10 to even be a 1 or a 2 on my scale.
Yeah.
So if I'm feeling pain, that means if you felt the pain I feel, you would be fully crippled. So if I'm crippled partially, that should tell you how much pain I'm in. And I use that to my benefit because 90% of the pain I can't feel unless I work out hard enough. And if I work out hard enough to feel it, then I'll build muscle.
Yeah.
That's where I see stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what I've always thought of with my physical disability.
Yeah, and I've learned that I'm quite resilient myself because like we'll take multiple people to the gym to do our workouts.
Oh God,
And
they
not many
fucking get
people.
broke.
And not many people can withstand it. Not many people can push through it.
Or,
And it
or they gotta
mystifies
do
it.
their bravado lift, and it's like, dude, you don't have to.
Yeah, and it
But
mystifies
you guys look so strong, and yeah. I've been doing this
for
for
like
2
a long
years
time.
longer than he's been doing this.
Yeah, and I've been doing it for quite a while now. Like
We're, I think, into like your 3rd year now.
getting towards there, yeah.
The end of the 3rd year this year, because we started in 20, right after they did the close the gym for 6 months.
Yeah.
Because Nephi was trying to bitch out, so he wanted to hang out. So I'm like, okay, no, we're gonna start taking Thomas to the gym, so that way you have to come Nephi, because you have the membership, and we can bring you guests.
Yeah, exactly.
I literally forced him to come until he fully bitched out and moved away, and then I had to, go to a gym and get a membership where I could start dragging you.
Yep. I remember we went to Vasa a few times, but then later on we ended up just going to the U.S. And that's where we
Yeah, because I changed the membership because it was the same price for a full membership as it was for only a level 2 partial at Vasa.
Yeah, but it's become like such a giant ingrained thing in our life now that like it's
If
weird.
we don't go work out, it's a weird fucking
Yeah.
day, dude.
Like it's weird if we're not. If it's weird for me if I don't spend at least an hour or 2 of my day at EOS.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's
Well,
not.
that's why I always tell you if we don't go,
Yeah.
because something like Wednesday, do the 100 push-ups, 100 body squats, 100 sit-ups or sit-downs, or abdomen workout.
Yeah.
Because if you do that before you go to bed, dude, your body will be like, oh, I did a workout. Okay, sleep.
Yep.
It's just an instant bed. The next sound effect.
There will always be people that try to stop you from reaching your full potential. But answer me this. When's the last time you saw somebody stop a train?
Stop a train, Spider-Man.
Yeah, but when was the last time you saw that? How long ago was that? And he doesn't count because he has superpowers.
And he's also fictional.
Not only fictional, but it's the factoid of he has superpowers. He cheated.
Yeah, that is true. A real life person, I don't think I've ever seen a real life person actually stop a train. Not at full speed.
No.
That would like just.
That's why I like that
demolish.
soundbite. It's like, oh, you're going to stop me. Okay, try. You're going to get ran over.
Yep.
You know why hugs are so beautiful? Because the right side of you does not have a heart, so it is empty. And when you hug, you will have a heart on both sides and feel complete.
I thought that was just a little happy note
Yeah.
for shits and giggles.
That was nice.
You've all heard the news. Climate change is destroying your future. Carbon dioxide is accumulating in the atmosphere. Global warming is killing the Great Barrier Reef. But there's more to this story. Over the last decade, total global emissions declined. Deaths from natural disasters have diminished to a few hundred a year in the United States, even as the global population quadrupled over the last century. They've declined internationally by over 90%.
Oh.
The Great Barrier Reef recorded the highest amount of coral in 36 years, and maybe longer, because that's the amount of time that we've been studying and measuring. How come nobody is saying that?
Interesting. But what is his point there?
Global warming is destroying the world, but actually, global warming isn't destroying the world. That's where I talk about, like, them talking about carbon monoxide so up.
Yeah.
But yet, what feeds on carbon monoxide? Plants.
Yeah.
So we have more plants, which means producing more oxygen. So the higher the carbon level, the higher the oxygen level.
Yeah.
Which means there's higher oxygen and carbon in the water because everything floats down
Yeah.
to the water. And what does the coral reef do? Eat and grow.
Fair
So
enough.
there's more food in the environment for the plants. So the coral reef isn't dying. It's bigger than it's ever been. The world's actually doing the best it's done since we started recording it about 50 years. He says 36 ago. I say 50 for other things too.
Yeah.
Because I've been bred that the world's going to end and da-da-da-da-da. And if you look at the statistics when they started telling kids in elementary school that we're destroying the world with pollution,
Mm-hmm.
it started in like the 70s and the 60s or the 70s.
Yeah.
So that's at least 60 years because that was 20 years before I was born. At least, at the minimum.
Yeah.
So I'm 40, so for at least 60 years, we're destroying the world, but yet there's more of us here. The world's not burning. We don't live on a lava field like we're supposed to, like they've been preaching to us since we were in elementary school, which proves they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. It got warmer, but guess what? The rest of the planet seems to be fine. The only thing we're doing is bitching because it's hot.
Yeah, like. I just have been mystified by this though. The heat wave, the insane.
Yeah, but see, funny part is, it's hotter.
Yeah.
Are all the ice caps melting faster? No, it's the same rate they've been melting for the last 50 years. Is the water level going up a lot? It's barely gone up, maybe a fucking inch on the coast. Because most of the coast, and I know this from going to Virginia and a few other coastal towns since I've been out here, or since I moved out of Oklahoma, the few times I've been to any coastal towns or been anywhere where you actually go to the beach, they tell you, oh yeah, no, we had to bring more sand because of how much gets dragged back into the ocean just by the fucking waves, the natural water. So when summer shows up, like in Virginia Beach, Virginia, they have to bring in more sand so that way there's a beach for people to swim on.
Okay. Interesting.
But my funny fact is, so we're not actually hurting anything. We're not destroying the world. We're not actually, because if we were destroying the world and global warming was such a big thing that was going to bitch, then why do all the rich people, and this was a podcast, or a soundbite from a few podcasts back, then why are all the rich assholes buying beachfront property? I go, I call bullshit.
Yeah, because if they're buying beachfront property, they would, you know, in the beach
That'd be a waste of money. If you're
Yeah.
rich and you want to stay rich, why would you buy beachfront houses?
Not to mention the fact that there's a lot of people, like there's a couple different people that I have actually met throughout my different career fields, and one of them actually moved to an island recently, within the last year or two, Another one has been staying at different beach areas, and none of them look like they've been deteriorating or like global warming's been killing them all. Like they all look normal. In fact, they look more
See,
normal
here's
than
the
they have
thing.
been.
If all the ice caps melt, what happens? Water level gets a little higher. Are we all gonna drown to die? No. Why? Because technically, all of humans, every human, the 8 billion that we have, we could move all of them to North America. And because of the technology and the way we build houses, if we build them like the English, like and the British,
Yeah.
house to house is wall to wall, like townhomes, we could fit every human in Texas or Alaska, the big states. The states that are the biggest, like Cali,
Yeah.
the entire fucking world could live in Cali. And then we'd have the rest of the world to do crops, mine, get all of our resources. There'd be no shortage of anything. Elon's talked about it. A few other people I've seen online have talked about it.
Yeah.
We're overpopulating the world. No, we're not. They're trying to scare us like, fucking white people hate black people. Fucking blacks are always killing whites. You know, that whole fucking, the whole racism thing, which
Yeah.
I've like bitched and complained it's not real because we're all the same race. Homo sapien. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit. It's all lies. They've been lying to us for decades. So we need to tell them all to go fuck themselves. We all need to blow up or destroy our cell phones, destroy all the credit cards and all that stuff. Get real cash, trade it in for gold, hide it, and just when everything goes to shit. Oh no, I'm good. I got my $5 million in gold and platinum and silver.
Just
Kiss
refresh
my ass.
everything.
Yeah. Fuck you, start from scratch. Everything's going to shit. Oh my god, the aliens, we finally admitted they exist. Now they're here to take over the planet. Really? You think I stupid? Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
I think it was Blue Book or Blue Cup, or it got brought up again after I mentioned it last week on my little, like, one of the podcasts I listened to. Oh yeah, no. They're just gonna give us a fake Jesus, a new Messiah, that's gonna save us from the aliens.
Yeah.
Dude, by definition, any fucking angel or Jesus or God the Father, by technicality, are extraterrestrials because they don't come from this planet. So, fuck off! You're all full of shit.
Yeah.
That's my whole viewpoint on it. It's like, how can you bitch, scream, jump, and down? They're all going to take us out when we're the redheaded stepchild of the whole cosmos. Which, well, I'll say our universe, the Milky Way. We're the redheaded stepchild. We're the assholes of the bunch. We're the ones that go, and if we find something new, we kick everybody out, or we kill people and take over.
Yeah.
Or rape their wives, and look, now you're part of us, because we didn't give you a fucking choice. Like the Spaniards did to the Native Americans in Mexico and South America.
Yep. Yet they play more white people.
The funny part is the Cherokee and Choctaw were the whitest of all the Native American tribes. And I know I have Cherokee Choctaw blood because I shaved myself bald for 6 months. I'm 40 years old and I'm still growing hair. Suck my balls, kiss my ass. I love my Native American blood.
But Amber's, or Ghostel's apparently, she doesn't have too much Native American blood, which is weird.
If she does.
Not according
It
to
doesn't
that
show
ancestry.
up on the ancestry bloodline because the bloodline, and here's the funny part, this is what goes into the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, you know, the whole thing,
Right.
all the Native American bloodlines are actually from the 12 tribes of Israel.
Huh. So, but what does it show?
No.
indigenous?
So mom's bloodline, 'cause that's where the Native American comes from. Or that's the line we know
Right.
part of it comes from. I think it also comes from dad, because we started in Cali and then the family moved to the East Coast.
Yeah.
Or no, they were on the East Coast, and then they moved to Cali. Dad's dad, Peepaw's family. Nanny's family was in Florida. But I mean, what's there? What's on the East Coast? What's on the West Coast? But we started on the East Coast, so Native Americans. I think we have Native American blood from both sides, because if you look at the ancestry from Dad and Mom, it talks about our ancestors came from or migrated in the area of Israel,
Yeah.
Jerusalem, that whole fucking section right there, Egypt, because what did the Egyptians do? They collected their slaves.
I was gonna be like, they fuck a lot.
they interbred with some of their slaves. You know they did, because they were pagans. Fuck everything.
Yeah. Part of the
And also part of being a slave is shut up, do what you're told.
some of the earthly pleasures of paganism is reproducing. That's one of the things that paganism has in common.
Keep
with-
fucking fuck.
that- yeah, it's one of the things that they have in common with Christian or
Not Christian.
or some sort of
Depends on
denomination
which
of that nature is that they
version
both like to
of
have sex.
Well, my issue with Christianity
Yeah.
is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, because the way they look at it, and where they have some of the truths where some of the other churches say that's not what it says, even though that's exactly what it says in the book.
Yeah.
It's like, have y'all like not paid attention to your own book? Oh wait, you've rewritten it like 500 times. You don't even know what the original fucker says. And that was a shitty translation, so I'm sorry, I can't count that any of y'all know anything about your own books, because you're all fucking full of shit. The closest you'll get to the original translation of the original books of the Bible is through the Quran.
Yeah.
And Jewish, all the books they have for their religious book, which is the Old Testament. And some of the books that aren't even in the Old Testament anymore. I've looked at both years ago. I've literally listened to the whole fucking book. I know what's in both the books. I know what it says about everything, and I'm like, there's like 10 stories that are the exact same about the exact same shit all the time, every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are the stories. Okay. That's it. Those are the stories. Well, those aren't true because of this story and this story. Are you sure those stories weren't adapted from the original story? Because y'all keep saying the story that's in the Bible or the Quran or the... I can't even remember the Jewish one. I'm drawing a blank right now. Their scriptures. It's like all of them say the same thing, but every region has their own guy who built a boat or built something to survive the flood in, or hid underground in caves to survive the flood.
Yeah.
The funny part is, what if we're all talking about the same guy, but because of how many generations out it is,
Yeah.
that what you think it is not exactly what it is. What everybody talks about, no, it's this, because this is where all the stories come from. Is that where all the stories come from? So Moses is just some douchebag who wrote down a story that some possibly extraterrestrial / could be the guy who's God told him the story of? But then we go into the Tower of Babel, and they all got thrown everywhere, and nobody knew the original language anymore. So we don't actually know what God told everybody, because nobody speaks God's language anymore, because he wiped it from everybody's memory and made you figure out a new language for everyone. And everybody figured out a different language for each tribe, which changed into heathens and all the other fucking everything else that's in the world. Even though we all come from the same bloodline.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to think about any of that, because it's just like...
You go far enough back on any genealogy, like actually looking it up and finding people who are actually related. You go far enough back, we're all related to the same fucking
So when I did
1,000
Ancestry-
assholes.
When I did Ancestry, I did it for both me and Gusto, and we
Yeah.
found a lot of interesting shit on there.
And Mom and Dad did it
But
too.
kind of want to do
I've seen.
23andMe as well.
If you will pay for it, we'll do one more ancestry, and then we'll do me and you on 23andMe. Because I want to do ancestry. See where my genetics differ from Ghostie's.
Yeah.
See where it shows stuff on mine where it doesn't show it on hers, possibly.
Yeah.
One, maybe because of our ages, but also where I'm at the beginning of Mom and Dad's relationship when their genetics weren't as altered
Yeah.
as they got older and lived life. I want to see if there's a difference on the where the dots hit.
Fair.
One, and two, we'll do the 23andMe for me, you, and Jude, and Ghostiel, and see where I want to see where the biggest difference show up between me and the sister.
Yeah.
Because I want to see, this is your list of shit, and is hers smaller or bigger? Where are the alterations? Because I know where the CMT, even though it's been proven she has it, I want to see the difference between how it's in me, where
Yeah.
they will show it, compared to how and where it is in her and how it shows. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Because with the whole CRISPR thing, okay, you don't have what the CMT is. So we take your genetics. Or we take genetics from somebody, like, that'd be like me digging up people.
Well, I never even knew what CMT
and take
was
the
until I got
genetics and find out, you know, because they say it on WebMD and a few of the other CMT websites,
Yeah.
which genetic of the 43 notches that it's in,
Yeah.
take it out of ours and put in a clean one that doesn't have it, and see if trying to crisp that back into my genetics, if it fixes it, or is the CMT the dominant genetic? So it will kick the blood out of the regular genetics back out of the system.
Huh.
Because, like I say, everybody sees it as a disability. I see it as a superpower because of what it lets me do that other people can't do because of the way it affects me. Physically, more than anything else. Because the pain level is here compared to everybody else's here.
Yeah.
And if I keep constantly working out, my strength level stays at a constant, where some people's deteriorates. But if I'm constantly on it, I'm constantly at this level all the time.
Makes sense.
I mean, you've seen it. I might not use the heavy weights, but when I want to show off, I'll grab the heavy weights, I'll do the exercise like it ain't shit.
Yeah. No, I'm right there. I've seen it.
Yeah. It's the abnormality that nobody thinks of. Oh, you shouldn't do this. No. They told you not to do it. Guess what? Do it. Why? I have this disability. Because they told you not to do it, and you're dumbasses. If you do it, you'll actually be better off, and the disability won't affect you as much. Have fun with your new knowledge. And a lot of people shit their pants because they're like, how do you know this? Because I did it to prove that they're all full of shit. That was my biggest thing, just to prove everybody's full of crap. Don't do this? Okay, I'm going to do it. But we said don't. And I'm going to prove you wrong because you're not thinking about it right.
Yeah.
If I keep doing it, if I'm constantly doing the thing you say don't do, because if I stop, the deterioration will screw me. But yet if I take a week off and I'm completely fucked, I won't be, because I'll instantly go back to working out again, and then I'll rebuild back to where I was and more. It's kind of like, I'm doing what everybody else is doing, but I have to do twice as much to get to where you are. So I don't just work out at the gym, I also do calisthenics by doing body weight exercises all the time.
CMTAUSA. They have a lot of
You can't scroll down.
Yeah.
I love the info on the genetics. Something or other.
Would you?
I can show you after stream, she says.
Okay. A little info on the genetic side. I can show you up to the strength. Okay.
I mean, but I've read it. That's the only reason I brought it up, because that's where I would use CRISPR. I mean, no offense to me, I love the way my disability or my CMT has fucked with my genetics, because it's made me more of a badass. You've seen it at the gym.
Yeah.
I would love to just use it and just, like for Amber, or for a few of the other females in the family, where they're finally getting what I've had to deal with my whole life, the full CMT, fuck you, dice roll. It's not a 20, it's a negative 20. But I figured out how to use that negative 20 and turn it into a natural 20.
Yeah. And not 20.
Yeah. Taking it from a negative to a positive. No. It's not a negative on my strength. It's actually a plus 40 on my strength. Wait, what? Yeah, so even if I roll a 0, I still get plus 40, bitch. How? Because I'm not a pussy and I work out and I keep my training constant. It's one of those weird factors. Either you don't use it properly and it becomes a negative 20 on your roll, or you use it in a way where you're actually getting plus 40 on your roll for strength and durability.
Yeah.
I found the fucking cheat code in life with Shark Out Marie 2. That's all there is to it. I found the cheat code, and now I'm running that bitch until the day I die or until somebody nukes my ass. Those are the only two options.
Yeah, no, and it's interesting because, like,
You see it at the gym.
before I even met you guys, I didn't even know what CMT even was. And so when Estelle first introduced it to me years and years ago, I was like,
What
fucking
the fuck?
CMT or whatever the fuck. And she was, like, trying to explain it to me and everything. But it never really truly clicked until
you started working out with me and I explained it better?
Yeah. Yeah, because it was familiar. I was learning about it. I learned that her joints kept fucking up and shit. But, it wasn't really real until after we were going back and forth at the gym. And I was watching your workouts. And I was watching how your legs and everything works. And I was like...
And how if I work out my legs to the extreme one day, rest the next day, and then extreme, off and on. You saw how I improved slowly but surely, and it's like he's not disabled. What the fuck?
Yeah, and there were people at the gym that were working out around us, and then they saw us in the hot tub, and one of them came up to him and was talking about it, and asked you some questions about how the hell you're able to do some of the shit you're doing.
And I explained where the disability, I use it as an advantage because it basically null and voids all pain receptors, so I have to go so hard I can actually feel anything, and they're like, wait, you use that for a benefit? Oh yeah, because if I can feel it, that means tomorrow my muscles will be slightly sore, but I built strength, so just keep going until I'm dead. What? I love that shit.
Especially since the average person, when it starts hurting, they want to quit. Or they want to quickly give up the goose because of the fact that they think,
I'm
it's
going
painful.
to be injured.
I must get injured. I might get injured. I might hurt later. Let me go ahead and stop now. Instead of pushing through it and working their way through it.
Well, that's what was it? When we went to the gym last Thursday, which was the whole debacle thing, my legs hurt. Doing the leg press, right? Yeah. It hurt for the first 300. After that, I didn't feel the pain no more, and my legs were no longer hurting. I had to work out to the point of the pain became numb.
Yeah.
That's the biggest benefit to the freaking CMT. I'm hurting. Okay, that means I need to go work out that muscle until I can't feel the pain no more.
I remember being there quite a few times when Nico and those guys were there, and people were
That just disappeared. What happened? Did it?